I call the rappers that's bouncing, cause all these carrots.
We were playing with fire. Everything turned to dust. When we aimed to fly higher, we got lost and dragged each other down. We kept running from the shadows in the night, realizing it was not worth the fight. Moving on alone was what felt right, 'cause we were never meant to be. Dum dum da dum day, dum dum da dum day, dum dum da dum day. 'Cause we were never meant to be.
Welcome everybody to the Spate Championship Series Championship Sunday. We find ourselves at the end of Regional 1 already in the first split this year after an entertaining Swiss stage yesterday. So today it's time to determine our first ever winner here at SCS 2024. To help me talk through all of the runners and riders, I am joined by my wonderful desk. My first caster peaked at a whopping Diamond 1 in Rumble and decided that was good enough for Ranked. They are a Rocket League caster for Stride, Frost, and the SSA region. Welcome to the show, Ari Casts. How are you?
I'm here. Woo! And yes, Diamond 1 is good enough. All ranks matter.
All ranks matter indeed. Next up in the middle, he's a dad gamer, veteran RLCS caster, and current Spate esports content creator. Welcome to the desk, Beaver. How are you?
It is great. It is a great day. I'm excited to get going with this championship Sunday for Qual 1. We saw a lot of fun stuff yesterday, so I'm excited to see what we're going to have in store for us today.
Absolutely. And on the end, last but not least, the caster and content creator for Spate, who has been casting for about a year consistently now, worked in NA, APAC, and SSA for off-season events and RLCS, been heavily involved with casting in the comp scene, now getting into the bubble scene after the RLCS season with SCS. It is, of course, Somber. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. You guys get to see full Somber back from the hotel room, back in the main setup, and I'm very excited to watch these games. You know, I hopefully we get some good content, some upsets here and there. But at the end of the day, I just want my prediction from last night to be correct.
That's always the most important thing. Well, you talk about content, and yesterday was absolutely full of content. So I think we should take a look at the top 5 plays from yesterday's Swiss stage. Let's start going to Feliaz versus Paddy Formula. What a game this was, and what a redirect this is. Chile finding that top left corner from the middle of the field. The pass comes from downtown, and it gets pre-jumped and put in by Chile. This reading of the game is absolutely insane to give Feliaz the lead in that game 5, no less. What a play, starting us off, sending Feliaz 2-1 up in that game 5.
Yeah, we don't just have one highlight. We have 5 total for you. I mean, this next one was between Last Minute and the Core. And this is a buzzer beater goal to tie up the game. I mean, a replica of This Is Rocket League, if you will. But there's so many things that go right for Last Minute here. I mean, Extreme gets that final second shot, but you see double commit, and you see an extra double commit come through, and the ball narrowly touches the ground, not once but twice, and somehow Last Minute, they pull it on through, and they do manage to tie this game up. Props to them. They go on to win that series. I believe it was 3-1. I mean, this was honestly a showcase for both teams, and really, I can't wait to see more from them, specifically, Last Min here in this extra day. You're able to turn off that flag. If you just play your own game, you have to be on the offensive a little bit more than your opponent, and this will be why.
Beaver?
I wasn't around for that. Sorry, I didn't know I was up. My bad. Polina's Autos versus Bohagsky. It was that double by Rican, the Boricua Bandit, coming through, able to get that double tap. A great pre-jump, able to put that down, slots that in the bottom left corner, tied that game up. He was huge in game 5.
Absolutely.
And to not be outdone at number 2, it's the illustrious Nightya. Don't show Briz this clip because they won't believe that the mechanics are coming out from Night. They sky up for this one, get the flip reset, and use it beautifully off that backboard. Get the double tap to go past the entire Paddy Formula defense. Night has been on an absolute tear since the beginning of this last RLCS split and continuing to bring that momentum all the way through into SCS. Pirates on a Bot have looked absolutely on fire, and Nightya is leading the charge for that team. And pulling out plays like this is going to take them far here, exactly what they need tonight.
At number 1, we've seen some mechie plays, but sometimes it's all about team chemistry, and there is nothing better to showcase that than this empty space banger. A 1-2 pass off that sidewall. It's just exceptional. Gear finding Crave in the middle, back to Gear as he makes his way down the sideline, and that is nothing short of special to give Empty Space the win in overtime and get them back level in that series, taking Cookie Munchers to at least a game 4 in that series. I mean, that is just absolutely amazing teamwork from those guys. And there you have it, our top 5 plays from yesterday. Thank you so much to the wonderful casters for talking us through those. But yesterday happened. There was some excellent action, but it will only get more insane today. So let's discuss what is coming up in our first round matches, these quarterfinals here on Championship Sunday. We are seeing Pirates on a Bot versus Paws Up, Silly Billies versus Last Minute, Empty Space versus Fearlyaz, and our first streamed game of the night, which should be an absolute banger. It's No Idea versus Patty Formula. Gonna come to Ari first. Some 4 massive games in those quarterfinals. Which of those games really takes your eye as one to watch out for?
So I'm looking at the bracket over here, and one of those teams that I'm gonna kind of jump back to yesterday real quick. We said Paws Up didn't have what it takes to bring it on through versus Colonizados, and they did. So although Pirates on a Bot is a great team, Paws Up, they kind of showed up out of nowhere in that round 5. I have a feeling they're gonna put on a show. But I also have to kind of look at Silly Billies and Last Min. So really, I think it's a tie between those. I mean, really, all of these games are super good. But I think I have to go Silly Billies Last Min as the peak one to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, that one certainly looks like it would be good fun. Beaver, we did talk a little bit about yesterday. We will dwell on it just a little bit more because I kind of want to ask you about a specific player that really impressed you. Maybe someone that you weren't expecting to come and show up here in SCS as well as they did. Someone who really hit their peak yesterday. Is there a name that comes to mind when I ask you that question?
Well, I mean, for games that I watched and was involved in, it was really M4 on that Cookie Muncher squad. They didn't perform very well, but he was a standout. So maybe next time to go on through players that are still in it. Was impressed by that Empty Space roster. Again, it was the first match that we watched. I talked about Gear, and Gear being that player who was the ultimate veteran, has been in the scene for a while, has been a substitute, and was making plays yesterday. Had the number 1 play of the whole day yesterday as well. So keep that eye out for Gear, looking to make himself known here on Championship Sunday as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of very good players. And Somber over on that far side. There's a lot of teams here. I want to talk to you about possible underdogs because we love an underdog story. We love someone going through the bracket who simply maybe we don't expect to, someone who maybe shouldn't. Is there a team listed in those quarterfinal matches that you think, maybe not a lot of people believe this, but they could go all the way?
As far as teams that can go all the way, I think that even though in seeding Empty Space is above Fearlyaz, because Fearlyaz was the number 2 seed heading into Swiss, I think that is a team that can make a run here. They're going to have to face, of course, Fearless and then either a combination of Silly Billies or Last Min, depending on the outcome of their first round. But I think that's a team in this lower half of the bracket for playoffs that could make a run to grand finals. And I think that I don't know if Paws Up will necessarily have what it takes to take down Pirates on a Bot, but I think that series is going to be a lot closer than people think. But as far as a underdog making that Cinderella run, I think that I'd have to keep my eye on Empty Space to make something, make some noise there.
Very interesting. I'd be very interested to see that. I hope it happens. Now, it is the first time of the evening where I get to put my entire panelists on the spot because I've not pre-warned them about this. I want each of you to give me the grand finalists. Give me a prediction who will be meeting who in that grand final. Pick one team from one side of the bracket, one side from the other. Tell me who that grand final is going to be, starting with Ari. Talk to me. Who you're thinking is going to make it?
You know what? I'm gonna go Pirates on a bot,
Okay.
and I'm gonna go Fearlias.
Ooh.
I think that's my grand final. You know, sometimes you gotta put some hot takes out there, and sometimes you gotta put your heart out on the line. That's what I'm doing, Fearlias. I believe on you. Take it the whole way.
Very interesting. It's almost as if you picked the top 2 seeds that are left in the tournament. That is
What?
absolutely wild. Beaver in the middle, talk to me. Any slightly warmer takes than maybe Ari just gave her?
Not really.
Okay.
I got the number 1 and the number 2. Pirates on the bot up top. It's just going to be so difficult to stop Nightya and Lev, and then Wuzzy just fills out that team so well. And based on my prediction yesterday, I have to stay with Silly Billies. I can't do it. I can't go against T-Corel and all the experience that he brings and that championship caliber of play. I'm going to go, obviously, the step further. I got to take Silly Billies over Pirates on a bot. I'm even going to give you a hot one. 6 is going to go in that series.
Ooh, okay, giving me a series prediction as well. Fascinating. Somber, finish us up then. Who will be that grand finalist?
So, like I just said, my hot take is I think that empty space, they're going to come in and they're going to be feeling themselves. They didn't have to go and make that round 5 run like Fearlias did. And I think that they're going to take that lower portion of the bracket, and then I got to stick with Pirates on a bot. Pirates on a bot. It's Night and Lev. You can't count them out whatsoever. Obviously, they're the 1 seed. That's the easy pick, but I think that it's going to be empty space running that absolute gauntlet there in that bottom side of the bracket, and then having to make one last demon run in the grand finals against Pirates on a bot.
So something I think that pretty much my entire desk can agree on is that Pirates on a bot are going to absolutely walk through their side of the bracket. That seems to be the general vibe that I'm getting from the desk.
I don't think we're saying 4-0-4-0, but I would say that they are the favorites for sure to move on. But that normally means that something bad is going to happen as in terms of the caster curse. So if it happens, sorry, Knight, we did it to you.
Yeah, our bad. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't do anything about it. I'm asking for predictions. There's going to be people cursed. That's what's going to happen. But it does seem like that bottom side of the bracket seems a lot more even. We've had a shout for Silly Billies, a shout for Empty Space, a shout for Fearlias. So lots of potential for upsets in that lower half of the bracket, which we will see the semi-final of as well. We will see the winner of Silly Billies versus Last Min and the winner of Empty Space versus Fearlias take each other on in those semi-finals. But our first game of the night is No Idea versus Patty Formula. It's Curry, Waves, and Glowing taking on Krabby, Angel, and Dry. Ari, some awesome names in that list, but realistically, coming into this game, this is the bottom seed, 16th seed. Patty Formula able to make it to this point. They've had an amazing run already.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly would not have guessed that they actually were this bottom seed coming into this. And if you want to look at the Swiss yesterday, which was, excuse you for flaming my prediction, but we saw Fearlias at 3-2 in the Swiss yesterday. So I'm saying they're going to bounce back. It's not exactly a cold take, right? It's a little bit spicy out there. But, going back to this game, you've seen Patty Formula absolutely pop off. And honestly, in my prediction, I said it was going to be Pirates in a Bot versus Patty Formula in that upper semifinals. Honestly, I say it goes to 6, maybe even 7. So really, Patty Formula with a real solid chance, but then, you can't sleep on No Idea, right? They're obviously here at this point. They made their run for a reason, and definitely could just steal this away without even a question.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think about Patty Formula, right? I mean, they're the team that played G Buffo first, sent him out of the tournament, and then they said, hey, we just kind of don't want to play anymore. Maybe they just got punched in the mouth a little bit by Patty Formula. Maybe Plankton couldn't handle Mr. Krabs or something. I don't know.
I have been thrown for a little bit of a spin here because I have just received word that the game that we were intending on bringing you has unfortunately ended in a forfeit. Everything we were just about to talk about, everything that Ari just said, is completely blown out of the water.
Well, who
as
won?
No idea. Have
No idea
won.
one? Oh.
Yeah. They didn't forfeit. Paddy Formula have. So I guess we are going to be changing our streamed game on the fly. Our apologies for this, folks. Okay, there's no way we could have possibly seen this
Pirates
coming.
and pause then, huh?
This is a very last minute thing. So it may be Pirates on a Boat versus Paws Up that we try and watch. But the problem is some of these games will probably have already started.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, unfortunately, all respects to Mel, who I can imagine is running around like a headless chicken right now, desperately trying to scramble and find something for us to watch. We are going to stream Pirates on a Bot versus Paws Up, which, by the way, Beaver, is a game that we've already talked about is going to be so fascinating in these quarterfinals.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, as much as you say, hey, you know, they went 3-0 versus Swiss. They had a +8 game differential in Pirates on a Bot. Pause Up. They had the ice to get there. I mean, they played 21 games yesterday, 11 and 10. So they needed absolutely every game to move their way through. But, I mean, you talk about the players on that squad, Slayer, Taco, and Ducksworth. I mean, they have an opportunity to make the huge upset. I mean, they already got the caster curse on their side, right? And they had to go through obviously all of day one to get here. They had to go through the Swiss yesterday to get here. I mean, the thing about these championship Sundays, as we've seen in anywhere, whether it be EU, NA, or whatever, it's any given Sunday truly, and they could pull off the huge upset.
They really could. I'm sorry, I'm still being sent for a little bit of a spin. But I believe this is where we are landing. So we've got Pirates on a Bot consisting of Knight, Lev, and Woozy? Anyone? Was he?
I say
I
Woozy.
believe it's Woozy.
Okay. So I've
Tomato,
got
tomato.
two
With two
conflicting
O's
reports. Awesome.
Somebody in chat said it one day when we were casting RLCS that it was Woozy, so that's what I've went with.
Okay.
Fair.
We'll go with Woozy then.
The big Wade says Woozy in chat, trying to help us out.
Absolutely. And then on the other side, we've got Slayer, Taco, and Duckworth. Maybe K-Frost filling in, but they do have a sub on that side. So we'll see which three take to the field. But this is going to be a 3rd seed taking on a 13th seed. And the fact that we're talking about this being such a close game, Somber, shows that whatever seed you get given going into a tournament, never believe that you're out of it, because seeding only tells you what's going to happen on paper, not what's going to happen in the actual game.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, these guys are all in the upper echelon of North American Rocket League, so it's all dependent on what kind of roster you can build, what kind of chemistry you guys have, and who's feeling hot on any given day. So I personally think, being such a big fan of CRL, I know what all these players can bring to the table. Even in sub K-Frost, that's a absolutely lethal sub to have on your team. So I think that if anyone was going to pull up a huge upset against the illustrious Knight Lev and goated 3rd in Woozy, it would be this Pause Up team. So I think that this is going to be a really close one. And if things are going right for them, they're feeling good, the chemistry's there, they're connecting on those team plays, anything's possible, man.
Anything is possible, absolutely. Ari, I kind of want to ask you then, if do you put this game as almost on the level of whoever wins this quarterfinal will find their way to the grand final? Is that the kind of level that we feel this game is at? Or are we looking past no idea?
I mean, I have no idea.
Very good. Give him a clap, everybody. That's very good. Great work.
I
Done
mean,
it.
I really don't know. It's a tough one, because here's the thing. Pirates on a Bot. I mean, you talked about seeding, right? You talked about on paper one's supposed to be better than the other. Really, this should be super one-sided. Should be. Do I believe that? I don't know. I think this goes 5-6 That's where I'm feeling this series goes.
Okay.
And I think Pirates on a Bot do take it. I just wish we would have seen like maybe Pause Up versus No Idea. That one I feel like would have been really the telltale sign. I feel like you chuck them to the other side of the bracket. It just make Pirates on a Bot just play everyone else in that like lower half, and you're good.
Yeah, just rip up the whole thing. Like just rejig all of the teams. Absolutely. Just to find as much content as we possibly can. I think that's what we're here for, right? At the end of the day. Yeah. But like, it's gonna be a really tight game. I think I'm gonna go down the list and I'm going to ask for a series prediction. So this is a best of 7, of course. We've gone from our best of 5 yesterday to best of 7s tonight. A series score from you, Beaver. Pirates on a versus Pause Up.
I'm going with the absolute disrespect. It's 4-0. Sorry, I don't think I can't go against Knight, Woozy, and Lev. I just can't. That chemistry is too much to ignore. The results yesterday, too much to ignore. I'm going 4-0.
I really wish you hadn't carried on because I was then going to say that you'd gone for 4-0 Pause Up to win because you did, it wasn't specified initially. But yeah, the fact that you said Knight and Lev, that's fair enough. Pirates on a Bot sweeping away 4-0. Somber, how many games do you give this one?
I got Pirates on a Bot still taking this, but I think that it was a little bit of a disrespect for Pause Up to be swept like that. I think that they take at least a game. My hopium is that it's 6. So I'm going to say my conservative is 5 for a win for Pirates on a Bot. My stretch is 6. I don't see this going 7, but I think that Pause Up, they kept it competitive throughout Swiss. They lost a lot of games, but they also won the games that mattered. So they obviously have that dog in them, pun intended, to go out there and take a game off of the top seed. And I think at a minimum, it's going to be 5.
At a minimum, it's going to be 5. Ari.
I mean, I can go at minimum. It's going to be 4. I mean, pick a define something, Somber. Come on.
Definitive is 5. That's what I'm saying.
4-1. Giving Pause Up something. The gentleman's sweep, if you will. Ari.
Yes.
Well,
Are you taking any more than that?
You were supposed to go 6 so that I could say, you know what, I'm going to split the difference and go with 5. But no, we can't have nice things today. Yeah, it's 4-1. I think they steal a game. And honestly, you know, if we're going for how close the series is, I think that 3 out of the 5 are 1-goal games. I think pretty close games. I don't think they get super run away with, but yeah, still winning handedly.
Very, very interesting. Well, you've heard what the desk have to say. This game could go either way. As I do have to apologize. We have been put in a spin in this pre-show, but I think we are just about ready to at least go to the casters. So, without any further ado, let's go straight to those casters. It's Pirates on a Bot versus Pause Up in the quarterfinals here of SCS Regional 1 with your casters of Ground Zero and Ari. Take it away, fellas.
Ooh, what an opportunity, and thank you for giving us a very warm welcome. It is your casters Ground Zero, as Ronnie Boy said, and Ari joining in for the first time ever in the booth together. This is quite the interesting proposition we got offered here, Ari, and what's some great teams as well at the same time. I'm excited to see you. So you gave your guesses. I'm kind of up and down between these two. There's such great teams and even better names that have been thrown around. Pirates on a Boat versus Pause Up. It's Nightya 11, was he? He popped off yesterday. Nightya, we've seen it. The GOAT, the Unk himself, he popped off yesterday. But it is Pause Up. We've seen Paddy Formula. They've popped off as well, taking down some of the top teams. So will we see a repeat? I don't know, Ari. It's quite literally on paper versus what I'm going to be seeing in the lobby. You know?
Yeah, and it looks like we are gonna be just getting into this game shortly, right? You know, got to test out the lobby, things like that. But you know, things that we don't really get to talk about on the desk is maybe individual players and really kind of the play styles these teams are running with. Obviously, you kind of have that Nightya and Lev duo, and then you kind of have Woozy tacked on. And I hate to say that Woozy is the third, but that is kind of the trio hasn't been the trio. It's been the duo, and then the third has kind of been like rotating around. You see Pigeon every now and then in different tournaments. So I think you kind of have a strong duo with a solid anchor. What do you think you're going to be seeing on this other side with Paws Up?
See, when pause up, I think I'm going to see a lot of nail scratching. That's for sure. It's aptly named. They're going to be looking to scratch away a lot of the games. It is best of 7, and with best of 7s, what I like to call them is, the first game is always an appetizer. You set the scene, and then you set the tone, and after that, it just depends on. It could be between before. And see, these are some of the best teams that are being offered on the plate for us. It's a beautiful plate. Don't get me wrong. It's decorated very nicely. But it's all about those rough gameplays. I'm looking to see demos from this side because from the side of Pirates on a Bot, they've got very, very good aerial game and they got very good mechanics. How do you decrease, minimize the complications from that kind of team? Well, you kind of demo them, remove them from the lobby itself.
Take the cars out.
Yeah, just remove them from the lobby, delete them from existence for a second or two for as long as possible. And you know what? Especially with Slayer, he's being subbed in. That man is apparently in Disneyland of all things right now instead of playing Spate here. So we got Cave Frost, a CRL legend. You know, he's taken the mantle. It's a beautiful man. He's got big shoes to fill, but I think he's got even bigger shoes himself that he's wearing. So it's great to see the man coming out. He has been taking a break every now and then, so this is quite interesting to see. From Pause Up though, like I said, I'm expecting to see just calm rotation, work like a well-oiled machine, and get in those demos every now and then to give up the opportunities, and at the same time create some good goals as well. I want clips. I want entertainment. I'm here for some entertainment here.
Well, we give our predictions. You mentioned that. Did you ever give a prediction? Did you ever say who's going to take this one or in how many?
That's a good question. See, I didn't get the opportunity because it was on the desk myself. So for me personally, I'm going to have to say it is best of 7. It's going to take a bit and a half, but my guess yesterday when I hopped on, I got first game I got on was accurate for me. Let's see if I could go for 2 for 2 today. And I'm going to go ahead and say, conjure up the minds. Do I have God listen to me today? And let's say it's probably going to be a 4-2 game in favor for Pirates on a Bot.
Stretching the desk. I see. So you're going, what was it? Somber's stretch guess. See, Somber, that's what it's like to commit to a guess. You got to do it that way.
Gotta be precise.
Yeah, stick with it and stand for it, because as someone said in some musical somewhere, if you stand for nothing, Burr, what'll you fall for?
Very true. Those are words to die by.
Yeah. Well, we're not exactly gonna die today, I hope, but we are gonna.
I pray we don't.
Get to watch some Rocket League. Yeah, some cars fall.
Demoed would be the exact word. Demo would be the perfectly accurate and safe term word for TOS to be using on Twitch right now as well at the same time. So we got some great games, some great teams popping up. I believe we've tested ping here. We should be good. We should be stable as far as I can see. So we're just waiting for the players to get ready in the meantime. So we've put in our guesses. We know what we want to see from both of these teams. Will we get to see it? Well, expectations don't really meet sometimes, but nonetheless, these games will be equally interesting as we can expect. The players are in. The scene is set, and I believe we're going to be extra ready for this amazing story that's going to unfold in front of us as the first kickoff goes right past us and the timer starts ticking down.
Tick-tock goes the clock, baby. You got Paws Up on that blue side. Pirates on a Bot. Once again, not to be confused with Pirates on a Boat on the orange side. And oh boy, I mean, first goals are everything in this series. And yeah, we say that all the time. But like, this one especially, right? If you're Paused Up, you really need that first goal to get that early momentum, establish yourself. Because I feel like if you don't take this first game, your hopes of winning the series just go down the drain every single game that Pirates on a Bot has, right? We talk about them on paper. They're so strong, and their teamwork is insane. You just got to get to that strong start, and it's Woozy to find this first.
It finds the gap off from the ceiling, jumping down and utilizing that flip past Duckworth, left faking it, scaring the bejeebus out of Taku apparently, because that man had no idea what to do for that shot there, but it will be an open net. Very well given to Pirates on a Bot, getting the first goal. So, like we said, setting the scene, and you talked about their chances plummeting. I would say I have to agree with you there, Ari. You see these chances go down more and more as the games go by, because trying to gain momentum after dipping down from the first goal that lost, or the first series itself, is very hard to come by. And once again, we're seeing Naya be going off the side wall. Low boost, a bit worse for wear there. Just gonna leave his teammates to work with the ball as best as possible. From the side, paws up, one touch from the side wall, fakes out one man, Taco with a 50, but will be in the hands of Lev, who's known for his mechanical area plays. I have had this man multiple times on for one show matches. He's a very scary player whenever you see him hop into the air here. So what will Paws Up do to reduce his effect overall? Was he from the side wall up to the backboard, taking it away once again, hoping for a sidewall redirect. No passing plays. He's going for the solo play all alone. He's a bit lonely. I haven't really seen much from either side. I think they're trying to you know, like cats do, just meow first and see what they can do later. For a good bit, the first, you know, for the first 2 minutes, they're pretty much just going at it, trying to see who can you know, go past one another. In the meantime, 2 minutes have passed, and we're still in 1 goal for Pirates on a bot.
We mentioned earlier on the desk, we said that it's kind of, you know, you kind of got to scratch away all that you can. And right now, Pods Up, they used every single game yesterday that they could have possibly had. That shot was a little bit closer, but Taco's the one that will come on through and try and keep that pressure going. Wuzzy sends this one all the way down. And there's nobody waiting to deny it. That one's sinking into the back of the net. That's a 2-0 lead for Pirates on a bot.
Yep, Pirates on a bot. Fantastic counterattack. And they played that quite swiftly as well. Pause up. They were just floating around the midfield. No one there on the defense. There was no deep third, as the meme goes by in the Rocket League scene that pops up every now and then on Twitter. And the deeper thirds just vanished mysteriously. No one really there to save that shot. 2-0 now, and we're having to see from Pause Up. Not really anything that's demanding. Maybe they have some trick up their sleeve they're hoping to use in Forbidden Temple. I don't know. I'm excited to see, though. But right now, as the game's gone by, it's a possible very good attempt there coming in from Wuzzy. Taking it for a double tap, and the ball now finally back in the midfield, floating around slowly once more. Lev doing what Lev does. He's in the air. He's just flip resetting, just having a swell time, really. Honestly, this man, you could be playing Radio Songs and Roses over behind him, and he'd be just having a good cracker time here. Duckworth now with the ball. It's went for the sidewall aerial. Already much more, and it's an open net once more. Don't know what Pops Up is doing right now, but they're giving so many opportunities for counterattacks for their opposition to score from.
There's no real glaring mistakes that we can see, you know, huge mechanical failures where Paws Up is just whiffing or something like that. But it's been time and time again where that net just appears open. I mean, 2 rotational errors and one where you can't make the save. This one, you just get dunked. K-Frost, the old man, will make this one 3-1. Look at that, though. And finally, a goal for Paws Up.
Paws Up, you know, they definitely brought their paws up ready to fight, that's for sure. They scratched one off from Pirates on a bot. And it would be K-Frost the one to do it himself, to sub. Showing his fellow teammates how to do it. Oh my god, what happened? What? From the kickoff, Duckworth flying it through, fantastic 50, sets it up quite nicely from the ceiling, reads it right over Taco. I believe he faked his own teammate, and Wuzzy, having no idea what was even happening, just tried dive for the ball as best as possible, but he could not make it at all. 2-3. Suddenly, this team, Paws Up, they got longer nails than I expected.
They're so good they can fake out their own team as well. Going into this one, though, I mean, you've seen that these plays, right? Paws Up, they had those mistakes in the first few minutes. You said they were feeling it out, and they felt it out. They had the appetizer. It just didn't quite go to their planning, right? They fell 3 goals, but they start to bring this on back, and the mental fortitude really strong. That's what you need to come through. And Paws Up, right? We mentioned they played every single possible game they could have yesterday. This is something they're used to. So if this does go 7, I see them easily winning that 7th game. I don't think Pirates on a Bot will win it if it does go to 7, which is why Pirates on a Bot, they're going to try and end this as early as possible. And that's why you saw the desk predict things like a 4-0 sweep, a 4-1 gentleman's sweep.
Yeah, we love the gentleman's sweep. We love a good game, but I also don't enjoy too much one-sided dominations. I want to see action. I'm here for a bit of entertainment, as I mentioned before. That's a good ceiling pitch coming in. Naya diving in for a pinch off the corner. Beats it up perfectly. Go for a save. He clears it down, but the ball is still circulating in their half here. They're desperate for some boost. At the same time, Lev putting up some fantastic angelic saves. He's the godly defender of the team for now, but they are slowly crumbling under the pressure. Wuzzy finally the one to break it through the midfield. He's going to get demo for all his effort. The ball flying down, and it's Lev. No boost once more. He's just trying to do something, trying to pull in the Hail Marys, and it's not working at all. They're stuck for time. There's got 10 seconds left. All they need to do is defend that one last goal that they have claimed on top of them. The crown still lying comfortably on top of them as can be, but the ball still flying up, still alive. Last couple of seconds. Do we get this is Rocket League kind of moment? No, we're not. It's going to be a killer of the ball. Straight away, Lev. Destroying it, the ball. Pause up. So close, yet so far. Pirates on a bot will still be your winners for the first game.
Yeah, Pirates on a bot. They get the first game, and that's something we kind of expected, right? But I think it is interesting to see it in the fashion that they did. I'm not quite sure how many shots Lev have, because Lev actually just DC'd from the lobby really quickly. So the shots, though, I think they were pretty similar. I think it was about 6-6 ish. And I think this is set up to be an even series. I mean, I predicted, I went a little bit more in depth. I said 3 of these games would at least be 1-goal games, and well, there's one for you. Stack it on up.
Yeah, they came in quite late though to the game itself. It felt like you said, and like we said before, analysis that the team would take a bit of a time to really get their feels and see what they're capable of, and it did take a while. But suddenly the kickoff side started going in their favors. But I think, like we said, too little, too late, and it wasn't just enough. But I think in Forbidden Temple, we're gonna see a whole different possible team here from the side of Pause Up. Now that they know what the other side are capable of, they're going to be circulating, they're going to be looking for passes. I'm expecting some team chemistry to start popping off here. That will be an expectation I do hold truly from the side of team Pause Up. They're looking like the underdogs in some ways, but I think overall, like you said, not major mechanical errors, but the net just sometimes happens to be open. More than likely, they're going to go back to the drawing board in this break that they have for the past 1 minute. And as the kickoff does start, they're going to be looking to possibly change up everything. Old man K-Frost himself couldn't have aptly described himself better here, but he will be the first one hoping to set up a goal for his teammates, Taco. And he's seen a lot of aggression in the first couple of 10 seconds already, Ari.
Yeah, I mean, Nightya's already taken this one towards the net, sends it over to Woozy. But that one will not find the back of the net. Instead, too many defenders in the way. Duckworth sends a shot on net, but Lev just making sure the car's in the right spot, makes the save, clears it on away, and keeps possession for their side before K-Frost, I mean, gets a demo and a ball. That Jazz cannot sink it in, though. Oh my, I mean, yeah, a high-paced game number 2, and already it feels like we're watching the last game, but in 1.5 speed.
Yeah, it's suddenly started stacking up the speed here. The stats have been increased, and was he going to be looking for an aerial play from down from the midfield? Balls flying all around. Nightya, one touch to left. They're doing some redirects all on their own. But all for nothing as the ball once again flying high. Down to left though. Man Frost himself couldn't make it through, sadly too slow in his old age. As Taco hoping to do something, but leaves it away to Lev. Lev now flip reset, no boost. Pops it over Duckworth. Okay, Frost from the backboard. Touchdown to Duckworth, who sends it clearingly down to Wuzzy. He's lying in his waiting hands as he goes for a shot. Duckworth. Once again, a fantastic clear. They're going coast to coast. A lot of action, and yet no goal to speak for as the first minute has gone by. But from the side of Pause Up, we're definitely seeing a more polished team here. Oh my god, wait.
I completely agree. Maybe they get a shot on. Oh, it's off the MVP, the post. Oh, heartbreak.
Oh.
You hate to see it. Yeah, really
you do.
I mean, Pause Up, they've shown that they're getting this team play, like you mentioned, right? It started to ramp on up. And they are looking like an absolute unit. There's a bump in the way. Okay, I thought Duckworth was in a different place. My depth perception is not as good as it used to be. But theirs, luckily, still good, still clean. And we will remain clean in this game. A tie 0-0 remains thanks to Woozy.
Oh, it does remain thanks to him, the MVP player, as of now in the Forbidden Temple anyways here. As K-Frost up from the backboard, saving it away. One touch is all it's worth as Nightya will keep that ball circulating. The pressure is ramping up slowly. That was nearly a breakthrough. But a shot comes in and it goes wide once more. Lev, oh my god, what a skim touch. It's beautiful, but right into the hands of Taco, who sends it away to Nightya, getting a psycho attempt, but it's not going to go anywhere except right back towards their net as Frost. Is he icy with it? No, it's just not enough ice on the wrist here today, it seems, as Nightya from the backboard. One glaring touch, and he's just going to send it to Wuzzy, who gets it blocked by Frost. up into the air, ball bouncing down, flying in the hands of Lev, who goes for an air dribble. And anytime, and as we said, and I had hoped to expect here, it's the blockage. It fails. Woozy will find the first opening.
That was a fun game of bumper cars in the middle of the net. I mean, you had Taco get an extra touch on it. Then you had two cars bump into each other. The ball then bounced off of, I believe, a pause-up player, then hit the floor, then the crossbar, then go on in, technically an own goal. But, I mean, what a game this has been, and what a game it continues to be. Nightya will add to this lead after... I mean, the kickoffs have really been a factor in this series, and I think they will continue to be as well.
Yep, they've been the major game changers. The reason why Pause Up were able to score the other two goals that they were able to score in the previous game for Manfield 9, and now suddenly it seems that the tables turned in favor for the opposition, and it's really going to be Pirates on a ball enabling the same tactic as Duckworth and Nightya, creating some air traffic with some 50 challenges in the air itself. Frost, fantastic clearance down to Woozy, the main man who has been scoring the goals. And he's been doing them quite nicely as well. He's been playing a strong third every now and then, but he has pulled up to really showcase some good skill here. And more so, it's been the playmaker for the team itself as well. 2 goals, 1 minute, 25 seconds here. The timer is ticking down against Pause Up, and they've not been able to get one series, though they've been able to tie closely there with only a goal difference. And right now, it's not happening in this game, it seems. Though they did look a bit more polished, but it's not the same tactics that got them the goals from the previous game. And suddenly it seems the other team, they're here to win as well. They've adapted just as much to Pause Up as the game has gone by. So a minute left, and we've not seen one goal from the side of Pause Up.
One goal, but we have seen 6 shots from Pause Up. I mean, they have more shots than the opposing team, and again, the threats, they keep on coming. But the defense really solid for Pirates on a bot. Here's a passing play. This one finds its way in. You saw it coming. You couldn't do anything about it. It's Taco Stash finally claiming one. Pause Up within a reach.
I'm not gonna lie, that was the funniest goal you could ever happen. Like, we saw bumper cars happening for the defense. This was bumper cars for the offense here. It's quite the switch up nonetheless. But I got him a goal. It's a pinch with Frost and Taco Stash, though. Hey, you know what? Do whatever gets you a goal. A goal is a goal. Who cares if it's it does looks a little bit unsightly. An possible opening here. Lev was nearly bumped out, but just enough. He got a touch. The wave was fleeting, inches away from the feet. Duckworth keeping up the pressure. The ball is circulating in the orange half of the lobby. Ball cleared down once. And no one in defense once more. They're hoping to keep up the pressure, and it's Wuzzy once more. 1-3. He packs up another one for Team Pirates on a boat. But that absolute beautiful scent of a clearance there from Lev was absolutely beautiful from the backboard as well to do it. A very difficult situation. And it puts them back in the running for a comfortable game to win.
Yeah, Paul's on a boat. They kind of need to stick this one in over offense, right? You're going to have to commit to some extra things, and I think we saw it just a tad too early, right? Obviously, that's the mentality they were kind of having Pause Up in the last few seconds before that extra goal was scored, bringing us to 3-1. But now the time's just not on your side. This clear has to go in, and it just will not. It'll be Nightya to clear it on away, and you'll have 2-0 now be the series as Pirates on a bot. They're in control, and that bot might keep on sailing. That's a joke because it's not a boat.
Well, it's a rough sail. They've had some shaky moments. It's a bit too much turbulence, one might say, on these high seven seas from the side of Pirates on the bot. But they come out fighting. They come out with a win once more, 3-1. Not too dissimilar from the previous performance in Manfield 9. And I have to say, it's looking a tad bit lackluster. I don't know what's happening. Maybe it's the fact that the aura from the side of Pause Up is a bit too strong. Who knows at this point? But from the side of Pause Up, I have to say the main problem is in this game they came out all things swinging. They came out with a good plan of trying to keep up their aggression. But after that, it felt like their defense took a massive hit and they lowered their stats. And it felt like they were just non-existent in defense. That's what caused them a lot of openings, especially on the kickoffs. And the very thing that got them the last 2 goals in Manfield, that's the very thing that was used against them here. So maybe they could possibly employ a bit half and half strategy from what they've learned here up until now. Because this is the game to really try and utilize what they've learned to really give them a possible win. Otherwise, it's just kind of it's looking like a 4-0 sweep. It's looking like that gentleman sweep some people on the desk have predicted.
I am some people. I do think that's what the case will be. But you know, you mentioned kind of that's what was used against Paws Up, and I think it comes down to the fact that they actually got so many shots on net. They just put too much offense forward, right? They went out of their way to get those bumps, to get those extra touches. You want to make it feel like it's one fluid motion, where if you're in the right spot, you can go for that bump. But instead, right, that second man overcommits, leaving your third man now to try and take a 50. And if that 50 doesn't go their way, that ball ends up in your net. We'll see if there's any adaptations as we hop in to game number 3.
Well, game number 3, it is DFH Stadium, and the defense from the side of Paws Up is exactly what's needed to bear with the pressure as they are getting pummeled with quite a bit of shots here. The ball, once again, flying around the midfield up into the air. Now you're looking a bit awkward. Will this be the first attempt we see from Paws Up to breach and open up the first gateway for the first goal? Even for their favor, they're gonna need something to show that they're, that they're still kicking. I know the boys themselves are nearing the age of hanging up the controllers, but there's still more than enough energy to try and show these youngins that you can score goals just like that. It will be Duckworth to do it.
I mean, I feel like that's a taste of their own medicine. Really, you kind of get caught out, right? Trying to overextend on that offensive side. And now you see the opposing team do it, and you're like, hey, that's what we're doing. Now we're going to score because you made the same silly, goofy mistake that we did. And now you finally have your first lead of the series. This shot's a banger, but Taco Stash luckily in the right spot at the right time to make sure that lead does not dissipate.
No, it's not dissipated just yet. Rather, it's still remaining strong as up into the air. Now you flip reset shot. It will go in. What? What a play from Naya from the midfield. Pops up quite nicely. The immediate flip reset shot. Uses it and walks over one man. How did he even do that?
Can somebody get me a brown paper bag? Because I feel sick. I need to throw up after that one.
I think you're gonna need 2 paper bags, because how is Naya of all people popping off like this? How are you letting him do it? You old ones, you unks should be saving this quite nicely, but old man Frost, he's got possession of the ball. 50 challenge, was he? Oh, he gets a shot saved by Duckworth. It's gonna be pinched off the backboard as well. Bar out. And now the ball finally sent clearingly down all the way through in the hands of Woozy from the ceiling. It's gonna be Duckworth hoping to get a touch to the ball, but it's fleeting. He goes nowhere near it, centimeters away as Lev once again regaining the ball in possession. Flip reset shot. He's trying to do a Naya, but he's not him today, it seems. As Duckworth from the side wall, one touchdown, gets it popped away from Woozy. Down bumped away from Frost. Naya just floating away on the backboard. No idea what this man's doing, but nonetheless he does not only evade the bump, but he gets the save as well. Ball still circulating in the orange half of the lobby. They are feeling somewhat of the pressure. The resources are cutting down somewhat as we see demos and bumps pop off here. Lev, musty flick from the side wall, bumps away Old Man Frost. What's opening? Woozy!
Oh my gosh. Lev?
What?
You really put the Lev in levitation there. I mean, what was that aerial bump? Insane setup for Wuzzy. Oh my gosh. I mean, that was a magnificent piece of cinema. I would like to watch that back. I will see that one later on the desk in the highlights moments, or I guess next regional on the top 5 plays or whatever.
For sure. I think we might even see the highlight on the Twitter itself, but fantastic goal coming in, and they take away the lead once more. We saw some openings. We saw some hope shining at the end of this very dark tunnel here for Paws Up, and we thought they might finally have it. Even if it's a 1-1, maybe they can bring it back in the latter half of the game. But it's 2 minutes, half the game left in regulation, and they're back down a goal against them once more. Very similar situation, history repeating itself here from game 1, and now it's an opening possible play here from Duckworth. Pinch down, Taco Stash looking for a shot. It's gonna be bumping over. What was happening, Lev? He's flying right past the ball.
I feel like we're, watching, like, I guess kids, like, doing some race car action, some go-karts, and you just see one car go by. Swing and a miss, strike 3, you're out. But yeah, 2-2 tie. I mean, this is kind of how we expected this game to go, right? It was supposed to be one-sided towards Pirates on a bot, no. You can't let me start getting the glazer out with the donuts, and then you give up a goal. That's not how this works.
It was a rough situation, that's to be honest. They didn't expect Lev to be just floating around in midfield and just somehow get the goal out of absolutely nowhere. He's been popping off. He's rather remained silent from the past 2 games, letting his teammates kind of do all the work. But here he said, you know what, let me have a bit of the spotlight as well. Why don't you? Double flip reset. He's aiming for the triple. He pops it in. Decimates Taco. And Frost, low boost. He just kind of went for the ball, nonetheless, hoping to at least push the ball away from their half, trying to give his teammates some time to work with, because they're working on very desperate, limited timing itself. Not a lot left in regulation. As the ball floating down in the corner, Duckworth will be the one to beat the ball. Nightya just hoping to get the ball away from the possession of his opponent, and Nightya will do exactly that. Flip reset touch down to Taco. As a shot, 50-50 challenge in the corner. Everyone and their mother was there for a second or two. That's a 50 play, nonetheless from Frost. And the ball flying around midfield. Pinch there from the corner. Will possibly attempt it from Levin. Last man back was Frost. He keeps it away. Gets his time. Delays the ball away from a possible counter-attack from the opposition. To the air once more. Taco. He's got time. He's got the ball. He's got boost. It's a deadly combo, but thrown away. And Frost faking it for Duckworth. Down to Frost once more. Passing play could be arising here to Duckworth. Open net, and they find the gap in the bottom right corner.
Quack, quack, you found the gap. Nope, that doesn't rhyme. Oh well, sounded better in my head. 3-3 the score, and yeah, pause up. I mean, they really get this one done. They just find the right spot. They're looking for these setups. They're trying these set plays, and it does go their way, right? This is the team we expected to see. Somebody that was going to go for these set plays, who were going for that sort of physical play, right? You saw a demo to set that one up as well, and that's the extra mile that we want to see from them. They weren't themselves the first game, it felt like. The rotations were a little off, but here, they're showing up to play, and yes, the kitty does go meow.
I think the kitty does more than meow right now, because paws up, they've been scratching quite hard at the team here, biting back a goal per goal. They've answered quite nicely from their opposition, especially for Pirates on a bot, who've been slamming shot upon shot. The ratio, though, not really matching with the goals that have been scored here, but you can definitely tell the defense has been higher stakes in comparison to previous games. They know what kind of pressure they're facing. If they lose this one now, well, it's a gentleman's sweep, as we saw and predicted some of the people here. Will pause up, do what's needed to at least bring my prediction somewhat true. Can we please have me not be faked out? Because I call upon God to answer me for this prediction today. I cannot be let down. As Wuzzy from the side, well, this will be the first game. That's one, not still a tie. As we go for a possible OT. Oh, I think Wuzzy was hoping to change at the last 0 second. The ball still kept up, possibly attempted from Frost, but it's going to be the first OT we see in a while.
You mentioned needing God on your side, and I feel like at this point in Rocket League, I feel like you just want the equivalent of that, I guess, is the mechanic on your side.
True.
Give me the power to find boost on the map and end the ball game with the ball in their nets.
Here.
That's really what you need to do, and Nightya is going to be the one that we've seen time and time again trying to find those star plays. Will not do so this time. Instead, it's Frost that actually catches this ball, a dangerous 50, but it does get pinched on away very powerfully. Was he able to actually send this one all the way towards pause up area for Taco Stash? Will recollect it and get a demo on Lev. But the damage seems to be done. Everybody is still fighting for that possession, and the ball seems to be in about midfield pretty much every 3 seconds.
Yep. It's floating around between midfield, the ends of the 2 nets, and we don't really see it anywhere near going to the net, that's for sure. It's been just the ball flying around with people who have literally next to nothing in their tanks, and they're just having some fun. A cheeky good bit of fun, you know? I don't really see much pressure that they had earlier. They know, like, okay, we've taken to OT. We're good. And that was really a good goal here coming in from Frost, but a counter-attack comes in swiftly from the other side. Another possible shot attempted. Clear it down once more. Just inches away from another goal here coming from Lev himself as well. He sets up his opposition. Oh, this is a critical moment for pause up. Low boost. Duckworth hoping to set up his teammate who's lying waiting in the midfield. Possible attempted goal. Frost, will he do it? What's needed? He's going to be pinched away. Aided by one player there from Pirates on a bot and up in the air.
Wait, dunk!
Okay, that shocked me. That took me. That took me. So that has perplexed me famously. What is even happening? Nightya sets up his opponent, Taco Stash, just sending it in one fleeting touch in the corner of his Fennec, and the ball just drops into the back of the net. And the last man back having absolutely no clue what even happened. It's the first goal and the first game we see that goes in favor for the side of Pause Up.
I mean, that's what, 1 goal game number, what was that, 2? 2 out of 3 so far in this
Yep.
series. And yeah, start to see the first game now for Pause Up. But I think we're kind of getting our predictions right. Maybe the casters, the desks, maybe we know ball, right? But either way, yeah, I mean, the big difference was you saw those mistakes not really coming through. You saw those extra mile touches that we mentioned. They weren't going out of their way for them. They weren't making that over rotation. They were just going for the demo as needed, and they just end up perfectly. 10 shots, 4 of them find the back of the net. And yeah, they kept the defense up as well.
Yep, I think they did a lot of the perfect mixture of what we were wanting to see that would have given a closer game, and we got exactly that. Not one person overcommitting, not one person undercommitting. They were trying to go for the ball as much as was needed. Everyone had their spotlight on the ball, and everyone really attempted to get a goal. Frost doing his best as his third man. He just trying to lay and wait for the good opportunity, really, to try and do what he needs to be done. And we see some good plays that did come out in favor. So thankfully, a game that does go in favor for positive, exactly a game we want to see. From their side, we're gonna have to see. Which is lying in wait. I think some error might have come up. In the meantime, I think we could keep talking.
Let's just change in his car. You know that?
Oh,
Change
he
the car.
changes his car too many times. He's got so many presets. Well, who is this man? Is he? Is he from the mafia to have gotten this much money to buy to be able to buy this many items for a preset like this? It's amazing.
You must have been doing too much online shopping, right? I feel like that's the equivalent now, right? With cars, instead of, because it's an accessory for yourself. So somebody must have been on Amazon for too long or something like that. I don't know. I can't say Amazon because we're on Twitch, and Twitch is owned by Amazon.
Yep, we might want to steer away from that, as our supposed boss Jeff Bezos is definitely probably listening in to a Spade esports stream right now as well.
Never know.
Imagine that. You never know. You never know. Things are weird these days. But yeah, definitely some. I have to say, possible timeout. Oh wait, we might see a possible first ever timeout here. That's interesting. A good swivel of circumstances. I've never seen a timeout happen here. Try turning it on. Oh, we might be saying some actual technical difficulty. Someone's monitor turned off. That's okay. Okay. Okay.
Shall we join them? Shall we just boop? And now I can't see, right? Well, that would not be entertaining for gameplays for me to watch. It'd be a tough cast too. Wow, the black screen going up against the black screen. The black screen scores, and the screen is still black. Wow, this is a shutout, and I mean all of the lights.
Yep, it's a shutdown, that's for sure. The Pixels really haven't been trying their best to turn on and actually showcase some gameplay here. It's been very difficult for us to even see what's going on because the action has been quite literally blacked out in this case. But we have 5 minutes to see. In the meantime, when will the return of these amazing players come on? It says Wuzzy was the one to have his issue come up. And we're seeing some DMs from the players asking if these issues already. The timer is running. In the meantime, between us, there are, I have to say, 3-1 right now. 2-1 right now. So
Is
a lot more games. Is it? I believe it's 2-1 if I'm correct.
I thought it was 2-1.
I'm pretty sure it's 2-1 because this was the third game we played. Yeah, DFA Stadium. It was the third game that was played here. So now I do remember. It was a fantastic gameplay. I have to say, from the side of Pirates on a Bot. It's expected from them. Sometimes, though, we want our expectations defeated. We want to have some surprises. I love surprises, in my opinion.
Yeah, are you... No. No, I can't handle surprises. I mean, I like a good upset. Sure, don't get me wrong. But, like, surprises where, like, do I think No Idea is going to win the whole thing? That would be a surprise if they did. And that's not to put it past them. But we've had a lot of solid contenders today, especially in that lower part of the bracket, that I just think they could go all the way. I don't know, though. That's why they're just going to have to prove me wrong, right? Maybe I'm anti-caster cursing you. Maybe I'm actually rooting for you, and I just don't want to say it out loud so you actually do win. It's all in the mental. It's all in the mental.
I love reverse caster curse, because, could that be seen as a caster blessing in that case? I think it would be a caster blessing. I've blessed sometimes and I've oftentimes cursed, but I think it's nearly time for me to start hanging up my microphone at that point. I'm literally the Asphora of casters. At this point, with the way I've been halfway through, I would say something and somehow the opposite of whatever I would say. Something wacky is professed to happen. That is for sure. Whenever I'm on the booth or I'm in the game itself, either at that point, I'm a walking curse no matter what.
Well, yeah, I mean, a walking set of curses, maybe some misfortune, but either way, we are going to head to a little bit of a break just for the players to get sorted out, the tech issues or whatever. We're going to let them figure it out, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with what we hope is the continuation of this series.
on the dance floor. We go hard till the sun come up. Ganja smoking, they got rum in me cup. Bad gals wind up on the dance floor. All the gals wind up on the dance floor.
Hello there, everybody. Welcome back. It is me, Ground Zero, and Ari in the booth. So, some updates to the current situation. Pirates on a Bot will be forfeiting their current position. I will be giving the win to Pause Up. Some technical difficulties did come up from the side of Natya's team. Pirates on a Bot. Lev had to leave. I believe some DC and Woozies. Complete monitor and power went out, so it's absolutely fried. Nothing was working, and they will be forfeiting their current position, and they will not be moving on, sadly, in the Spades Championship Cup. It will be Pause Up. Congratulations to them, even if it was on a technicality. And for us, it was a shortcut stream for the first game. Not the best start, but I think there's going to be better to come, Aria. Nonetheless, though, we did enjoy what we saw.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a great showing, but that will be it for this series. I mean, you mentioned it off stream. Everybody's brackets completely out the window. My prediction, it's gone, and it was set up for success. Come on, man. But yeah, the score on paper will end up being 4-2. And Pause Up, they take this series. We'll be right back with the continuation of the Spade Championship Series in the semifinals.
Let's get it there. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house. 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 It's all about house music. It's all about house music. House music. House music. House music. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Spay Championship Series Championship Sunday for Regional 1. The results from those quarterfinals may shock you. They will certainly shock the people to my left. Pirates on a Bot lose 4-2, technically, to Pause Up after a forfeit loss. Unfortunately, it was just not meant to be. A massive power outage meant that Pirates on a Bot could no longer play, and so that game goes to Pause Up. There was another forfeit in that upper side of the bracket as well. No Idea forfeit win over Paddy Formula, two of the arguable favorites to go through in those two matches. Unfortunately, not able to make it through to that semi-final, which leaves your semi-final in that off-stream slot to be Pirates on a Bot taking it's not Pirates on a Bot, what am I talking about? It's No Idea taking on Pause Up.
It should have been. I know where your
It
head's
should
at,
have
'cause
been.
it should have been. And I
Should
gotta
have
say,
been.
that's
You're
like
right.
the caster curse of this century. We all three picked him on the desk, and a freaking lightning bolt takes out a transformer and nukes Wuzzy's everything. If they broke Wuzzy's setup, it's all because of us, and now I feel bad.
Yeah. And you should. On the other side of the bracket, we have Silly Billies sweeping last minute 4-0 in a game, in the first game that I'm reporting that actually saw its conclusion, as well as Feliaz taking out Empty Space 4-1, which leaves the game that will be streamed to be Feliaz versus Silly Billies. I am joined once again on the desk by Somber Ground Zero, and you've already heard him once, Beaver, so we'll hear him again. What a game this is going to be.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a monster match. I mean, this is the first round. We were like, hey, we're ready to see first round matchup. This one is the one I think all of us had our eye on.
Yeah, for sure. Somber, we are now left with the top four of Pause Up, No Idea, Feliaz, and Silly Billies. two of which were picked by our desk to get to that grand final. Do you feel like the likelihood now is that the winner will come from this lower side of the bracket of the entire tournament?
Yeah, I think 100%. Silly Billies, I think, was kind of the 1B in this entire bracket with Pirates on a bot. And now with them out of the equation, I think that they are, I don't want to say clear-cut favorites because obviously unexpected things can happen and lead to some delays. But I think in perfect conditions, I think that they are now the clear number one favorite to make it out. And they're coming from a very competitive part of the bracket too. So I think that they're not just the talent of their roster, but the teams that they're going to have to play to get to that grand finals, they're going to be red hot going into that. And I feel kind of sorry for whoever has to face them in that grand finals match.
Yeah, for sure. Ground Zero, we've got Chili, Fearless, and Swaz on Fearliaz taking on Silly Billies of Tikarel, Darklight, and Bora with a sub of Proto. Big names, big players. How does this game shake out? Best of 7. What's your prediction?
I know they're slightly lower than Fearlias, but I talked about this team being one of the sneaky teams in the first time I was on the desk there, Rhino, if you do recall yesterday. I said Silly Billies would be one of the teams to watch out for, and looks like my prediction still held true. So I'm gonna say it will be one of the toughest games, and like many of the on the desk here at the same time, they've all agreed this will be the one game to truly watch out for. It's gonna be action packed, that's nonetheless. But my prediction, it still holds true to being in favor for Silly Billies, even if it's fairly as they did look a little bit shaky yesterday. They are looking very good though versus Empty Space coming off of a 4-1, but I think this is going to be their toughest game yet. So my prediction will be 4-3 in favor for Silly Billies.
Goes all 7. Well, the game is ready. The players are ready. So let's get into this. The difference between top 4 and minimum top 2 is one best of 7 series between Silly Billies and Fearlias. So let's see who banks their spot in our grand final. We will find out with Jay and Fresh.
And once again, we are back with more action from the Spade Championship Series. I'm joined by my co-caster here, Jay. Jay, we got Fearlias versus Silly Billies, and I've only seen one of these teams play. You got any information to share with your brother here?
Not too much. I know that I believe that Silly Billies is the favorite going into this, but I don't think Fearlias are far behind, if at all. So I would guess that this is going to be a closer match, and that's probably the best thing I can tell you here.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's a closer match. We love the close games. We love the best of 7s. We love when they take it to Game 7. Hopefully we'll see a Champions Field. But I don't know. I've seen this Fearlias team play, and the best that I can tell you is they're a very, very mechanical team. In my unprofessional, literally unprofessional opinion, they left a lot to be desired in the rotations and control department. But I will see if they learned anything from their series yesterday.
I'm excited to see. It looks like the players are joining up. So Fresh, if you want to take us in, get us started for this best of 7, we have another story here on the line ready to write.
Oh, we have a story. We have 6 on the field and 5 on the clock. We're getting started already right off the bat. Darklight is coming off the ceiling. Well, he had a plan. Didn't quite go as planned though. He somehow still has possession and somehow gets something oh, you know what?
Oh,
you know what?
Yep.
They forgot to change the mutators, and well, I was super excited.
Yeah, we still had the test lobby details at a max score of 1, so it looks like Darklight, Tikarel, and Bora take game number 1, but not really. We do have to reset it real quick. No harm, no foul, though. At least it was figured out very quickly, and it didn't take all the players a few minutes to finally score, and then all of a sudden the game's over, and no one realized what was going on. So quickly, we'll get back into the next one, hopefully with the right mutators, and then we can really start the game.
Yeah, we'll hopefully get it started right off the battle. A few hiccups here and there, as it always happens, but there's no mutators this time. We're getting right back on the field, getting right and ready to go. We got Tikarel, Bora, and Darklight versus Chili, Fearless, and Swaz. That's all these teams making up these names like Bohovsky and Fearlias, where they're just kind of meshing the names together. It's the unique little thing that seems to be a trend lately. Swaz trying to get us started off early. Tikarel leaves it for his teammate. They pop it back out to the opposite wall. Chili taking control of it now, has it up in the corner, gets dunked by Tikarel. Fearlias looking to put something on net early. almost has something out of danger there. And these two teams, they're starting off fiery right off the bat. They wasted no time into getting into the offensive opportunity zones.
Fearly as making a great push for this first 30 seconds. The ball has almost exclusively been in the blue half, and they're not overcommitting on anything. They're not trying to be overly aggressive. They don't want to get caught out, but they're making their presence known. We finally see Bora gets a clear across, but doesn't have a lot of boost, and it just seemed like it was to relieve the pressure. You see Fearless and Slaz getting it back down. Now we have a little bit of back and forth in the midfield. As far as aggression goes, definitely favoring Fearly as right now, but knowing the players on Silly Billies, I don't think they're going to let that stand for too much longer.
T. Corral puts one down off the bar. Opens up the scoring here with a beautiful little touch play. A pass from Bora. Read him like a book. Fearless and whoever that was, Swaz, couldn't get back to it in time.
Felt like a little caster blessing there. I said they're about to ramp it up, and they score the second I stopped talking. So maybe if they're hiring, you know, hit me up. We'll see what we can do. Getting back into it though, off the kickoff, pretty neutral. Nothing crazy. No kickoff shenanigans. You love and you hate that. T. Corral's going to pick up a save off. A lot of demos coming out. A little exchange turns it into a temporary 2v2. 1v1 on the goal line, but not quite through. Now we see Fearless carrying it against Bora. Can't get it through. And now it seems like it's a little more calm now, especially on the side of Silly Billies. They're playing a little bit closer. They're slowing down a little bit. They have that lead. They don't want to be too aggressive, so it seems like they're trying to hold it, but I don't think they need to be satisfied with one. At least another pickup would be great for them.
Here comes Swaz coming back down through the midfield. Chili pops it up. Nothing of it, though. Didn't get quite enough contact on it. Boris got boost in time and space, although he double committed with his teammate. That might come back to haunt them now because they're both running low. Darklight elects to leave it and rotate back to defense as best. Bora comes back the other way. Fearless has it in the corner, touches it down around. He's looking for one, gets the demo, bumps the goalie. It's open! And there's Swaz to nail that one home. Ties the game at 1.
A classic example of they can't save the ball if they're not there to save it. A bump and then a demo, both for Fearless, getting that goal cleared as much as possible. Also centering it, just making it impossible to not score right there. Gets the game tied up. It's almost like Fearless took that deficit personally and really wanted to tie it up, was tired of playing down. Now is wanting to bring it back, see what we can do to get it a little bit closer, and we'll see what they're able to do. Some good midfield play right now. It seems like Fearless, Swaz, and Chili, they're trying to get it down, but once again, we see these long clears going back and forth. It seems like it's a very opportunistic game. It's not, at least besides the start, it doesn't seem like it's just constant aggression. It seems like it's a pickup in the midfield and just a race to the net to see if you can manage to squeak it past the defenders.
That's the way that these guys like to play. They like to play fast and they like to play aggressive. The control in the midfield is what's going to be the deciding factor for this game, is who can hold down that possession the longest. Right here, Darklight has a little bit of touch. Once again, he misses. Whether he chose to or not, I'm not entirely sure. But he seems to be overshooting a lot of his touches consistently. He keeps missing things like that. That's his third one so far that since I've started counting that he just didn't get contact on. Gotta slow down and be patient. This Chili gets a really weird pinch all the way back out to his side. And Darklight's gonna try and capitalize on this. Looking for a pass out to Ticarelli. Hits it. There's Zaid. Playing faster than I can speak. Ticarel puts another one in.
Very, very simple setup here. A little 1-2 for Silly Billies, and it was all off of that pinch off the ceiling from Chili that I'm not really sure what the goal was. It could have been a back pass attempt that just went a little too far into the corner, but regardless, Darklight was able to pick that one up with ease and make something out of it. And now, see Fearly as down, but they're trying to fight back here. They're piling it on. They don't want to keep playing this lofty game. They're trying to put on the pressure, especially there's only a minute 20 left. There's not a lot of time to sit around and wait for a mistake, especially at this caliber. You're lucky if you can force mistakes in a game at this point. It's all just about what you can get yourself. We'll see if they're going to be able to do that. Darklight picks up a big clear. It looks like it's a little bit wide, though. That's not going to go in, and now see Fearly as down, having to play out of their own side with a minute left.
T-Corral back the other way. Can't get control of it. Fearless is trying to get it out, but Darklight keeps it in. Looking for something off the backboard. T-Corral putting another shot on net. That will be his 4th of the match. And although technically technically Fearliaz is out shooting these guys, they're not up in the scoring department. So it seems like these Silly Billy's team looks to favor more in the quality over quantity department.
We definitely see every time that Fearliaz pushes forward, they're able to get a few shots in. Darklight going for some insurance here, puts in a third goal for Silly Billies with less than 30 seconds left. It's going to be hard. You see the great dunk from Darklight, holding power slide, never slipping at all, just jumps right back up after landing, gets the perfect follow-up, puts it right over the defender, and that almost seals the game here. Not that much time left, especially all things considered. Game number 1, everyone's just learning each other's play styles, albeit if Fearliaz wants to get a little aggressive right now, there's no better time to do it. You can't really lose much here that you haven't already lost. Final moments here. They're going to try and find something for the road. It stays lofty in the midfield. Fearliaz trying to push it a little bit forward. Swaz double touch off the sidewall, gets another one right towards the mid. There were players from Silly Billies on the back wall. T. Carell thinks about keeping it up, but does drop it, and that is game number 1 going to Silly Billies.
Yeah, Silly Billy's taking that one almost a little too easily, it felt like. They put a lot of really, really quality shots on net, and it wasn't a whole lot that Fearliaz could do. Now, like I said, Fearliaz have got the mechanics, and they displayed the mechanics several times in the midfield and in the back third especially. But unfortunately, what I had said going into this was I was worried about their rotational capability, and the Silly Billies team completely dismantled that entirely and essentially proved me right.
We saw a lot of opportunities that were set up for Fearliaz. Whenever they got the ball towards that Silly Billies net, they could put on a few opportunities before the clear came out, but none of them were really phasing Silly Billies. Silly Billies, on the other hand, it only took them 1 or 2 shots, and they were able to get the ball in the back of the net, and that's what you need in this situation. You need to be able to convert on any opportunity you can. Silly Billies had no problem with that. There's nothing wrong with putting on some pressure and starting to force some errors, but at some point you have to convert it. You can't just keep putting shot on shot after net if you're not scoring. You need to be able to get one more person involved if possible. See if you can make something else happen. Maybe make your opponents falter. They have the skills to do it. We've seen it. We saw how they were playing. They have the potential, and now we'll see if they can bring it out. Game number 2 underway here. Silly Billies versus Fearliaz.
Yeah, it comes down once again to that quality over quantity kind of look. With Swaz looking to get something here. Gets stopped by Darklight. Can't quite recover it. Bora knocks it out to the midfield. Both T. Carell and Darklight are looking to be a little low in the boost department. Elect to just let that come back at them and stop this chance in its tracks as T. Carell reads it off the backboard. And the boost, he can't quite get anything on it. He keeps losing that touch along the wall, getting ahead of it a little too much. But he's still bigger than the rest of them, puts it past 2, gets it back into the offensive corner once again. Silly
See
Billy.
a lot of
Sorry, go ahead.
control
Go
coming
ahead.
out. 1-2-1, almost coming back in there. Really, really exciting moments to switch the cast, so it does get a little confusing. Apologies.
Yeah.
Darklight's gonna have to pick this one up, put it back to the Silly Billies side. Gets a good pop, did get the boost, but no follow-up there. Fearless going for a touch, delays it, trying to get it past Bora, does so successfully, but not a lot coming out of it. Very back and forth here. We've seen good possessions in both halves. It was a pretty similar start to game number 1, though, as Fearliaz were able to put on some early pressure. Probably not as constricting as game number 1, I would say, but still, you like to see them coming out the gates hot. They're not letting that last game get to them. They're just right back into it. Best of 7's a really long series, so there's no reason to count yourself out early, and Fearliaz have no intention of doing that. They're just playing their game right now, and they're going to see where that might take them.
It really does seem to be working for them, at least. They seem to be a lot more alive this match. It's still a very back and forth game. There's no real possession, holding a possession, if you know what I mean, where one team sits there and makes play after play after play and just kind of fires at the net. An awkward team bump there from Silly Billies in the back end cost them that offensive opportunity. But here comes the 3v1. I'll back the other way. One of them is bumped. He's got no boost. T. Carell manages to get up and make a diving save. But the pass down to the mid is missed. And Silly Billies counterattack back coming the other way. He has time possession. And oh, what a save off the crossbar. Just barely keeping it out of harm's way. This Fearliaz team just refuses to die.
We've seen two great saves on both sides, just right back and forth. The offense is there, but the defense is standing strong. Bora's going to try and put it up, gets it over Chili, but gets bumped. Fearless is going to have to put that over. Dark Light, bit of an awkward situation, but does get the pick up. Not a lot of boost, though, so will defer to Swaz. Gets a flick over T-Corel, race in the air. It ends up pinching back towards the Fearliaz side, and this back and forth is, you could feel the tension here. Both teams, they want to break the tie. They want to be that one team to get ahead, especially this late in the game. It's going to be so loud. It is going to speak volumes whenever you can get that first goal, because unlike game number one, there isn't as much time to find the rebuttal on that first goal. Swaz might be able to do it here, but it gets saved by T-Corel again. Fearliaz are going to try and keep this in play, but Silly Billies, they're not having it here.
They are not. The rotations are starting to look like they're breaking down a little bit. Bora just caught flat-footed and out of boost. Nothing he can do about it, and this Fearliaz puts the first one on the board.
They finally get the first one up. Chili, not the shot I expected to go in, all things considered. Everything seemed locked down. You put a little bounce shot in, and it finds the back of the net. But good lead for Fearliaz here. Just over 100 seconds left. Now, Silly Billies, they're going to have to break from that standard, calm, collected play. They're going to have to put a little bit more juice and have a little bit more intention in their plays if they want a pre-jump from T-Corel. More or less what I was getting at there, not quite what I had in mind. We see a Rule 1 coming out from T-Corel and Chili, so it's going to be down to a 2v2, and we'll see which team is better in the 2v2 here, because this game just got a whole lot different.
Oh, the dynamic has entirely changed. We gotta give him respect for respecting the Rule 1, though. You'll love to see it. We'll see what else happens with the rest of this game, because it's gonna change dynamically. But the question really is, especially with these, like, do you really want, when you're down by a series already, what are they doing? What, forget what I was gonna say. I'm curious what that is in the backfield.
It's a sign of respect here. It doesn't matter the situation. This could be grand finals. They're going to sit in that Rule 1 because they know that that's just your golden standard. It's not even a thought in their minds. Dark Light does get it over. The 2v2 gets broken, tied up. Chili can't feel bad for that, I will say. Being locked in the Rule 1 and conceding the point, that's not on you. You were doing your part in the play.
Back there.
I did notice that there was some orientation that wasn't what happened originally, but I didn't get enough time to really see what was going on. Now we're back to the 3v3, just over 30 seconds left. T-Corel lobs it towards the backboard, right towards Fearless, and it's coming down to the wire here in game number 2. I'm glad that this is as close as it is.
Yeah, these rotations are smooth as a mirror. There's nothing you can, they're airtight. That's the word we need. These Silly Billies rotations are airtight, and quite frankly, there's no gap in them. Whenever they go, the transition from defense to offense is smooth. The transition from offense to defense is smooth. And every time that these Fearliaz team thinks that they've got an open chance, it's immediately swept away by one of the Silly Billy players.
Final moments in regulation. It does touch down, so we will see overtime in game number 2. Did not take long. And now, pick up demo on the kickoff. It's going in favor of Silly Billies, but just barely. Swaz is going to shut that down. Uses all of the boost in the tank, though. Darklight back alone. Does pick up the save. Swaz coming in, but Darklight picks up the flick. 50-50. Goes in favor of Chili. Gets saved, but gets a demo pickup. A lot of aggression here from Fearliaz right here in the start of OT. They're trying to end this as soon as they can.
Yeah, they want this out, and they want it done. Fearliaz putting it up into the corner, but they left it. Oh, he manages to keep a little touch, get it out. Swaz touches it up, gets it over 1. He's only got 1 to beat, but it's Darklight who has boost and space to move. The demo in the backfield opens it up, and Fearless puts one in to tie the series at 1.
Fearliaz do like that demo option. We saw that goal in game number 1 where Fearless picked up the demo and the bump. It wasn't even Fearless this time that got the demo, so it's kind of a team mentality to keep an eye on that demo. The 3 Fenix are always on the prowl, looking for any victims that they can find to give themselves an advantage if possible. And this time, it wasn't just a random goal in the game. It won them the game. It was in overtime. So very important time to bring that out. They do it successfully. They don't get caught on an overcommit, and they bring the series back, now down to an effective best of 5.
it does come down to a best of 5 at this point. However, let's go back to that, rewind to what you said about the demo option. That is going to be their biggest spearhead at winning this series. It's going to be the difference between them winning and losing, because individually they look outclassed, they look outsped, they look completely outmanned and outgunned. But that demo, you don't have to beat anybody if they're not on the field. And that is going to be what hopefully they can utilize that tool to take it farther in this series.
We'll see what they're able to do. Chile picks up a demo immediately off the kickoff, so not slowing down at all. Boar is able to pick up a goal in the first 5 seconds. We saw the demo threat coming out from T. Carell, making it really awkward for Fearless. Fearless had to jump out of the way a little bit earlier than anticipated, and it left that right side of the net wide open. And that's what Silly Billies need. They want to show that they can demo too, that this isn't just a strategy that Fearliaz came up with and they're exploiting it. It's something that anyone can do if they set their minds to it, and it came out running right at the start of this game.
Anything you can do, I can do better. A huge shot from Chile gets blocked by T. Carell. Swaz looking to put it back down in front for Fearless, who knocks it in and ties the game at 1.
That was just a good onslaught right there from Fearliaz. They weren't letting that ball leave the box. You see, right as it tried to, Swaz just slapped it right back into the middle. Good pace on it too. Fearliaz just had to get that set up, and they got it. Fearless just had to tap it in, and that was all that it took. And this is definitely a much more exciting game. It took 3 minutes to score in the previous game. Now we've had 2 goals in the first 30 seconds. So many bump plays coming out as Silly Billies, another demo play coming out. They took the demo personally last game. They're showing that they're just going to do this too. They're going to play them in their own game, and they're going to do it so successfully that it's going to get them 2 goals in almost 30 seconds.
Anything you can do, I can do better is the mantra that Silly Billies is marching to right now. But Chile getting a nice little touch out there. Looks for the mid. He's got Fearless, but T. Carell is there to take it away. Looking for the demo in the backfield is Chile. Swaz, he's got time, space, and boost, trying to make something of it. Bora gets an off-the-ceiling challenge that 50s it out. Chicarel gets beat. Fearless gets an awkward touch to nobody. Chicarel trying to look for another. Nothing coming home. The Silly Billies, once again, just not able to find any real quality touches or quality shots in the offensive third.
We see Fearliaz getting the ball back into the Silly Billies side. They're the ones down, so they're the ones that it counts for a little bit more. They want it more than the Silly Billies side. They're going to go for a pass play. We see the 1-2, try to get into 3, but it was a little too far ahead of Swaz. Didn't have enough time to get there. Demo comes out from Darklight. Very physical game as the net wide open. Swaz just pinches it out of the top corner of the net, and then they're saved. They do not want to go down another goal. They don't want to have to make up for the 2-goal deficit. They are trying to hold right now, and we see the ball getting back into the Silly Billies side, and it's just back and forth right now. It's getting intense here.
It's getting very intense as Fearliaz is ramping up, trying desperately to get an equalizer. They've got lots of time left, but you don't want to be getting down to the 2-minute and 1-minute mark without having at least an equal score. You're putting yourself up against the bricks at that point. They're playing a little risky while they've got the time to do it, but unfortunately it may not be enough. Darklight looking for Bora mid. Bora gets demoed in the air by Chile. The Swaz gets demoed as well. All the physical play coming out from these two teams. It is an absolutely guttural and bloody battle in the offensive third. This Fearless is trying to get it up onto the backboard, but he just leaves it there for nobody. Shot off the crossbar, goes away. Darklight knocks it off. Chile leaves it for Fearless. Fearless touches it off. Nobody's home. Swaz is going to try and challenge this in the midfield, and here comes Fearliaz back the other way. They've got a 2v1 rush, but unfortunately, the offensive opportunity is squandered by Darklight and friends, and back down to the mid-third they go.
Fearliaz are trying so hard to keep this ball as close to the box as possible. We've seen their capabilities once they get into a rhythm, but they just can't find it right now. Silly Billies are trying to diffuse everything right at the source. Don't let them get confident towards their net. Stop it as soon as possible. They're doing such a good job at that. Still time for Fearliaz here. 100 seconds. They don't need to do anything crazy now. They don't need to consider any nuclear options just yet, but you're running out of time at this point. Fearless is able to get it towards the net. A bit of a double commit. This could open up an opportunity, but Bora is going to single-handedly get that ball out past 2 defenders. Now Fearless are just going to have to play out of their own half yet again.
Fearless trying going for a redirect cheeky, but he didn't quite get it. Oh, there's an awkward touch there. Swaz gets a 50, but it doesn't go anywhere dangerous. Chili looking for a pass off the backboard out to his own teammate. Swaz is waiting there with boost. Knocks it over to Fearless. Fearless takes a shot. Darklight knocks it away. Swaz touches it back out to the midfield. Darklight still has boost. How did he get it? Where did he get it? And which one of his teammates did he take it from? The world may never know, as once again, he has more boost and takes it up to T. Carell. He can't connect on the pass, but he still pops it mid. And here comes Fearless as they've got an empty net with a demo play there. He can't quite get to it as it's just barely off as it rolls up the backboard and out of harm's way.
We've seen a few shots from Fearless going off the bar. That one included, albeit Bora was there regardless, and then that one a little bit wide. Fearless needed that so bad. That would have been so great for them. You don't have to stress in the final 30 seconds. You get it tied, the net was open, but the position to get the angle on the shot just wasn't quite there for them. And now they're suffering the consequences as the ball is in their own half. Final 20 seconds. Silly Billies are not slowing down. Darklight's going to sneak one in there. Very reminiscent of game number 1 as Silly Billies, they get that lead, that 1-goal lead, and at the very end, Darklight just taps in another one and just secures it.
He broke out the protractor on that one. Really sharp angle to hit that from, but he capitalized on Swaz's mistake.
Final 10 here. Chili up, trying to make something happen. I don't want to say it's a little too late to go for an opportunity, but you can get the confidence to get going into the next game. Darklight gonna try and keep it up to Sora. That ball's going into the middle of nowhere. It does touch down, and Silly Billies will take that one. They didn't let the last game affect them too much. It was a close game, went to OT. They did take the demos personally, and I guess in a sense that did affect them, but it just made them stronger. It affected them in a good way. It made them more powerful, and it got them such a hot start in that game number 3.
It really did give them a very hot start off that. Not to the discredit of Fearless too. They absolutely put up a bloody fight, outshooting them, what, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 15? No, my math is terrible. 13 shots. 13 shots to 7. Almost double. And yet somehow they got tripled in score. And it comes down to they're just better at finding the back of the net, this Silly Billies squad. They're better at finding those open holes. Their placement of their shots is better. Their mechanics are more smooth. And on top of that, watch how they connect with each other on their infield passes, especially in the midfield. They are absolutely sharp. They're on point, and it's almost never late, never early. They know exactly what they're doing. The chemistry between this team is so absolutely fire that there's just no... It makes you wonder, what else can you do? They tried the demo approach, and it worked for a little bit, but Fearless wasn't adaptable enough to come back to it. Okay, well, you know what?
Well, that's a good start for Fearless here. I was about to talk about how they're really good at piling on pressure and trying to get Silly Billies to crack, but Silly Billies is not a team prone to cracking. They have a very tight-knit defense, but we saw a little bit of an exploitation there from Fearless. They get the game started in their favor. Fearless is going to try and extend it. Darklight does tap it down. Bora in the corner, met by Chili, but still favors Bora. Chili rotating out, leaving it for T. Carell. Swaz can't find a touch. T. Carell in the air. It goes off the bar. Darklight coming in. It's off the bar too. Chili is able to meet Bora in the air to defuse that one. T. Carell tries to get a pass. It pitches across. Bora does hit the angle. Chili again on defense gets it shut down. That was a very impressive stint. That's not something that we typically see out of Silly Billies. Typically, they're just a one-and-run team. They get their shot out, and then they just leave it. T. Carell, just like that. It only took one shot, but the pressure before, Fearless were definitely feeling it there, and it was hurting them. They were being so constricted, and T. Carell finally opened up that crack and tied the game back up.
It absolutely is going to be the death of them. The biggest things that I'm noticing too on top of that is every time that they clear it, there's nobody pushed up from this Fearless team. There's nobody ready to receive the other end of that ball. So their pressure is mounting because they're not transitioning from defense to offense well. They're not taking care of those touches. They're almost kind of panicking like, this is a lot of pressure. Let's just throw the ball down and give us a few seconds to grab a couple pads. But by then, this team is up on them. Oh, what a play by Chili. What a play.
Chili just taking the minimum work possible route. T-Curl having to run from the demo. Chili gets the first fake. T-Curl just has to dive for it. Doesn't really have a choice on angle. Chili realizes that, takes the low 50, just walks it in. Didn't seem like it was any worry at all to Chili, just sitting behind the ball, let it roll for you. You don't have to do the work. The ball's going in the right direction, and the defenders, they're not going in the right direction. They're going up and around the ball, not quite into it. Fearless almost gets a cheeky little goal there, but it sneaks out. Bora, a big clear to Dark Light. Dark Light to T-Carell. Little 1-2-3-2 action. Does almost find its way back towards the net. Fearless able to shut down that pass play. The more people you put in that pass play, the scarier it gets. So seeing the whole team involved could not have been a comfortable sight for Fearless, but they handled it like it was pretty comfortable for them.
Well, they handled it readily well, but they're looking for the bump again. They're putting steadily and increasingly more pressure on the Silly Billies roster. He's up Terrell trying to get something going in the offensive end. Chili's going to take control of it. Once again, he's going to take it into the air. Fearless has boost below him. I'm curious what he's going to do. Nothing. He's going to leave it for the Silly Billies team to come all the way back down the end. T. Carell jumped for this yesterday. Jump. What? How? What in the car control was that?
Yeah, those little spins in the middle from T. Carell were... I mean, it looked like T. Carell's just having fun there. Gets the low 50, sneaks it in. Taking Chili's low 50 against T. Carell personally and doing the exact same thing. Yet again, it's just we see one team score one way and then the other team's just going to do the exact same thing because it works. Tying the game back up, T. Carell just having fun at that point. Fearless, a good redirect, almost a stop on the Silly Billies line, but it had too much sauce behind it. Still sneaks back in the net, even with a defender there, and Fearless, they immediately pick that lead right back up.
Yeah, you hate to see it getting credit for the save, but still conceding the goal, just not able to get it off the goal line. You hate to see it, but we've got a series on our hands. This Fearless team is refusing to go down without a fight. T. Carell comes off the ceiling, gets bucked off the backboard. Bora unable to make anything happen with that play. Swaz takes it out into the midfield, looking to get it out to the midfield for his teammate. Takes a touch off the backboard. T. Carell takes it away. Chili in the midfield. Knocks it off, but he doesn't have anybody to receive it there. Fearless is going to get a nice little touch out to the opposite corner. Swaz going to knock it high for Chili. Chili runs it all the way back down, trying to buy his team a little bit of time, if you will, to recover and make a play. And here they come. He's got boost in time, but he gets dunked by T. Carell as Chili tries to get something else, and the pressure is mounting steadily as it's back and forth and back and forth.
Fearless trying not to fault. Fearless going for the flip reset, does get saved. Another shot coming out from Chili, also out. Fearless, they're trying to pick up another insurance goal here. They don't want to just settle for their one goal lead. They want to get the second one, similar to what Silly Billies have been doing to them. But they're going to have to take it out of their own half to do that. And it's just a little back and forth right now, albeit Fearless are probably very comfortable playing a back and forth game because it's very difficult to find a scoring opportunity if you don't have someone up to try and score. And if we're just going to boom the ball back and forth and the score is going to stay the exact way it is, T. Carell's having to rush to keep it that way and make sure that it doesn't go any further away from them. As Fearless, they're not slowing down here. They're just trying to find another goal. A bump comes out from Swaz, but it does get saved very close. Swaz, it was the inverse that you normally see. Swaz bumped the offender off of a redirect and then saved the ball. That's not something that you typically see very often. Very interesting play, and it worked out great for them.
It did work out great, but the biggest thing, too, that I'm noticing is that this Fearless team has the most pressure when they can control the boost in the offensive end, when they can control the resources and where they are. Now, hopefully, if they're smart, which I really think that they are, they've realized that this Silly Billies roster, their greatest strength is anything in the air. Unfortunately, That might go in. I was holding my breath, trying to think of what it was going to be next. Oh my goodness.
Wow. I did not expect to see that one. T. Carell, it was a pixel off the ground, gets a flip under it, and it worked. It had just enough pop to send us into overtime. That came out of nowhere. Yet here we are. We're in overtime now. T. Carell rips a shot. It was going to be a little bit wide, but still does get cleared. T. Carell not quite done. Finally gets some help from Darklight. Chili now up in the air. T. Carell, good pre-jump, puts it to the sidewall, looking for another. Does get it. Runs out of boost. Tries to get a good pre-flip read, but got beat to it. T. Carell lobbing it back up in the air. T. Carell's everywhere in this overtime. Not faltering at all as that shot is going to come in from Bora. Darklight has to play this carefully. Last back temporarily. Buying Silly Billy some time, and they are hot right now.
They are hot, putting massive amounts of pressure, trying to keep them from getting a tie in the series. We talked about wanting a Game 7. There's their chance. Fearless, where you going? The ball's behind you. You got boost in time. Here he is, coming down the midline. He puts it on target. Nobody's home for Silly Billies. And the series is now tied at 2.
I was fearing the scenario that hit the crossbar, but it's under. Fearless got it under, got the ceiling read, and sunk that one in. Didn't let that overtime heroic to get there affect them. They got it done, and now the series is tied back up. We were in a best of 7, down to an effective best of 5. Now we're down to an effective best of 3. So this is what we wanted to see. This is a really close series, and it is living up to everything that we wanted it to be. It is a fight back and forth. It's not just one team running away with it. It is these teams fighting tooth and nail, trying every strategy that they can implement into their playstyles and getting it done, making them work well. We're not really seeing any questionable plays that it's like, okay, that's a weird strategy. Why are they doing that? Anytime that they switch it up just a little bit, they're finding success with it. And that's what you really like to see. Both of these teams are so dynamic. They can change their play styles and make minor adjustments and make it work so well.
And that comes back to that point of what I was saying about adaptability. Fearly has changed up their playstyle, went a lot more physical to try and take those players off the field. And on top of that, Silly Billies just came back and said, anything you can do, we can do better. And just absolutely flipped the script on them in its entirety and came back with equal, if not heavier, physical play. Now, luckily, Fearly has managed to squeak that one out. But it felt like they were finally showing up and that we finally were having an even pushing match between the two sides, back and forth fighting over the midfield. I'd like to see a lot more control out of their side. I'd like to see a lot more patience with their touches, but they found success in boost control. They found success in the midfield, and they ultimately found success in scoring too. So hopefully that carries on over into the next game. Fearly did request a tactical timeout. Whether it's actually tactical or someone had to use the bathroom, I don't actually know. I just know that they requested to have a 60-second timer. So we've got a little bit more time in between games. But what do you think the biggest weakness that Silly Billies has is, Jay?
That's a good one. Silly Billies are a very well-rounded team. I think they're pretty good at everything. I don't think they are the best team at any specific thing. I think they have formed themselves to be an extremely well-rounded team. Their defense, when we see Fearly pile it on, has been phenomenal because they hold the line. They make a stand and they prevent it. And then we see those opportunistic changes on offense. But it's typically just 1 to 2 shots on net per offensive drive. And personally, for me, I would like to see Silly Billies apply a little bit more pressure, almost reminiscent to what Fearly are able to do. Keep that ball in the box, keep the pressure piling on, because I think if they could do that, I don't know if the Fearly defense is as locked down as Silly Billies, and I think if they're able to maintain possession way up in the field on the Fearly side, that they'll be able to crack them. We know these are great players, and we know what they can do. And we're about to see what they are going to do in this effective best of 3. It's getting close. Players just now joining up potentially I see, the whole switching team strategy. Okay, we do get everyone in. I was a little worried for a second. All the teams back on the pitch going into game number 5 here. Let's see what they have in store for us.
Well, right off the bat, T. Carell is going to challenge this up in the midfield, but Swaz is going to take repossession of it. Darklight losing it there to Fearless. Fearless looking for something off the backboard. Can't quite get it over T. Carell, though. But Chili can put it in. Darklight's there to stop that, but that was almost another really early shot from the Fearlias roster. T. Carell couldn't find the back of the net. Darklight leaving it there, trying to keep it inside the box, like you were saying. Leaves it for Boris to challenge. But Fearlias taking this away, finally, for the first time in 30 seconds, getting possession in the game 5.
Seeing the aggression heating up, it's like Silly Billies have the stream on. This is exactly what I was talking about. Not something that we see too much from them, but they're doing it now, and you can see Fearlias stressing a little bit. That was an absolute rocket off of the entire opposite side of the pitch's ceiling. Fearless almost just got an insane pitch straight off the ceiling, straight into the net, but it was actually so powerful that it went off the top of the net. So almost a bit of a shocker to get game number 5 started, but we'll see Fearless going for something a little more tame here, as we see a little fancy spin there, going for a cool little flick. Doesn't really get enough
that
pop
was
to
tame.
it.
That looked nasty.
Yeah,
but that
it was a little bit
breezy,
more
or what
tame.
It was.
A little bit more tame than the pitch, that's for sure.
Here comes Fearless looking. He's just kind of shadowing now, watching, waiting for it. Swaz manages to knock this one through. Darklight only got a half tank of boost. Got to make a play here to get it out, but he doesn't succeed. As Fearless is reading this off the backboard. He gets 1, he gets 2. It's open. Swaz comes in to clean that one up with a broom and a dustpan. It was there. He might as well just tap it in.
That additional touch from Fearless there was so crucial. You saw 2 defenders for Silly Billies, assuming that Fearless was just going to get that one touch that was going to bounce further off the backboard, but that second touch kept it closer and put it behind all of the defenders, and it was just a matter of a tap-in. It's just who's going to be there first, and Fearlias are going to be very thankful that they were there first. Swaz able to sink that one in. Now we have the 1-goal lead for Fearlias. They're putting it down the pitch. T. Carell trying to carry it out here. It's not contested by anyone for a while. Swaz finally sweeps in. No one really wanting to play that midfield game with T. Carell. Just wait to see what happens and deal with it later. Redirect from T. Carell would have been on target. Chili picks up a quick save, shuts it down as early as possible. Now we see Chili having to carry it out, but with very little boost. We'll see how far Fearlias can get on this drive.
They're taking it slow now. They know what they're up against, but they also know that they can beat them. But Darklight here has a touch off the backboard, looking for a third. Doesn't get one down to Bora. Bora has space, timed the ceiling, and a reset. He chooses not to use it, tries to put it top corner. Fearless manages to get that out of harm's way, but he's chasing it down to the offensive end with no boost. That's dangerous. You've got 2 up now. Darklight looking for another. Fearlias managing to keep it out of harm's way. Nothing is finding the back of the net for the Silly Billies roster, as Fearlias is just somehow scraping the bottom of the barrel and finding the little pads, the littlest amount of boost that they can, just enough to keep the Silly Billies roster from scoring.
We're seeing a lot of miscommunication on the Fearlias defense. We've seen a few double commits and some unfavorable touches. One person has a better shot than the other, but the other person goes for it, and then it's a double commit with the weaker outcome. But Silly Billies just haven't found the positioning to capitalize on those shots, as they're still defended well. Finally, Bora's going to get a pickup. T. Carell carries that one over, just floats it towards Bora, and at that point, it's just a simple redirect, slams it in. All of the players from Fearlias rushing to one side of the net. Bora says, okay, I'll shoot on the other side. Smacks it towards the left and ties that game back up. Minute 30 left, so a tie here. The next goal is going to be big.
The next goal is definitely going to be huge. It's going to be a massive decider, because whatever team concedes is going to be on the clock, proverbially, to get back onto the scoreboard and even that out, because the series is tied, the game is tied. We've got a minute left in game 5. This is the tipping point here. We've got a best of 3. We were at a best of 7. We went down to a best of 5. Now we're at a best of 3. And boy, is it a heater of all of them.
I liked that pass from T. Carell, but just not enough boost to put power behind it. Was looking for that lateral cross to Darklight, who would have been able to generate so much power. T. Carell up to Darklight, back to T. Carell. A lot of flip resets gained, but not a lot of them used. I think players nowadays are just so comfortable getting the reset, and if they want to use it or not is entirely up to them. You see Fearliaz making a great drive down off the back wall. No one's touching the ball here. Finally, Swaz breaks the silence. Bora is going to shut that one down. A chip shot from Fearless. It's going to be high. T. Carell trying to get this one out. Final 20 seconds, and the tension is high right now. The next, if a team can score right here, I mean, you're on match point. That's huge.
What is you in Caster Blessings?
That's huge. I said it. That's huge.
Normally, every time I say, nah, they've got this, they get scored on, but this Fearliaz roster has decided to reverse Caster Curse, Jay here, and they have now taken a 1-goal lead with 11 seconds left. I'm curious to see what kind of play that the Silly Billies roster is going to make. Wow, okay. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, right?
Right. I talk about teams scoring and they score. You talk about teams not scoring and then they score. So here we are, 5 seconds left on the clock. You know, maybe I'm almost scared to speak right now. 5 seconds. I don't want to just take away Rocket League. Let's go to overtime. Let's get a little more content. I was very scared there, but it does touch down. We go.
I was clenched over here.
That was horrifying. We do go into overtime. Bora's going to pick it up right off the kickoff. Swaz pushes it to the side. T. Carell trying to make a play here. Darklight going to try and sweep in. Chili able to take it out off of that left wall. Has a little bit of boost. Gets the reset. Not able to use it effectively, though. Fearless up in the air. We know Fearless can read it off the ceiling. Swaz coming in, slams it down, but T. Carell able to clear that one to the side. At that point, with how fast those shots are coming in, you just have to guess. T. Carell guessed effectively. This ball lingering in the Silly Billies box, and Swaz is going to be able to put that one right under the bar. And it seems like whenever teams score right before overtime, it's happened twice now. Right as we go into overtime, the other team just says, okay, I don't care that you scored. We were going to win anyways. And that's what we're going to do. They pick up that win, and now Fearliaz, which I don't think was the expectation, is the first team to reach series point here.
They are the first team to reach series point. That is, well, we've had two DQs so far out of 4 series that were meant to be played. But we have this is our first full series, and man, it is a back and forth battle between these two teams. They both, you can see how bad they want it. They are pushing relentlessly. But Fearliaz has actually now started to show that they're picking up what Silly Billies are putting down, and they're starting to find those cracks in the armor to exploit and to take advantage of. And one of those big things, again, was physical play. They stopped demoing as much as they did also doing more bumping into, I don't know if you've caught it on the back end, but they have started bumping these players relentlessly on the back third, which has made it ultimately more devastating for them. Because I noticed that the Silly Billies players were coming into rotation really late sometimes, and so I pulled out and I watched, and I'm like, you're seeing that they're still playing physical, they're just not getting, you know, the kill feed for it, and it's working for them. They found great success in it, except in kickoffs. They did not find success in kickoffs.
Not quite off of the kickoff for Fearliaz, as that is the first kickoff goal. Well, we've had some quick ones, but I'll call that a kickoff goal. The first kickoff goal that we've had. We had another goal in 5 seconds. That one was in 2, so much quicker. Silly Billies, they're probably so grateful right now that they're able to get that early lead, especially you need to win this game. I mean, this is it. You need to win 2 in a row, and getting a goal in 2 seconds is a great way to make that push start. It's a great way to begin these last potentially 2 games or just 1. But Fearliaz, they're trying to get something in their favor. Swaz close, but does get saved on the goal line. Fearless quick up, but the Silly Billies defense even quicker, shutting it down. Chili trying to connect right there to Bora. Fearless keeping this one alive. Darklight can't quite get a good clear, and we're seeing Fearliaz are trying so hard. They're doing a good job keeping it in the box, but they just need to find that conversion to tie it up.
They do need to find that conversion. However, they have been really good with holding pressure. I mentioned this early on in the series that No team was really good at holding possession in one side or the other. But, oh no, that's dangerous. Swaz manages to keep that out of a very dangerous situation that came across them. They had pressure for a minute and 7 seconds was how long that ball stayed in that offensive end. However, they almost conceded on the very first transition back to defense, and that's something that you hate to see. Swaz unable to challenge that. A trade demo in the backfield makes it a 2v2 here momentarily, and that's going to concede to T. Carell to puts in another one.
I'm gonna need to see this one again. T. Carell gets the pop. Chili back. Okay, does get bumped. They were on the other side of the ball. I couldn't see that originally. In my head, I'm thinking, okay, Chili's there. What happened? T. Carell picks up the bump, and it's that physical play that Silly Billies, they took personally from earlier on in the series. Fairly as big on the physical play. Silly Billies responded by incorporating it into their play, and they're making it work very well for them. Fairly as they've had most of the pressure this game, but they don't have the goals to show for it as another save gets picked up for Silly Billies, and they're just going to try and turn it around, keep it as far away from their net as possible because you have 2 goals now. You have the insurance. You don't have to do anything crazy. If you want to try and kill the mental, go for it, but you're good at this point. You don't have to commit to anything that you don't need to.
This is game 6, but they do find at least something to shorten that deficit. Here, Swaz gets a nice little touch out to the mid. Nobody's home for the Silly Billies roster. I don't know. They might be able to crawl back. They've got the time to do it, but you're talking about mental. We'll have to see how Fairly as mental handles this game.
Now, we see an opportunity for T. Carell right off the kickoff, trying to get that insurance back, but to no avail. Fearless trying to get a little pick off the ground. Bora against Chili 1v1. The flick down and in off the bar. The insurance is back. Bora, a fantastic ground play. Picks it up, stays with it. Solid flick right under the bar. I mean, that's textbook. You can't ask for more than that.
No, he studied for that exam days in advance. He knew exactly what he was going to do yesterday. There's nothing else that he could have done. What it came down to Fearless missing that touch in the midfield and leaving his teammate kind of back there by himself. But Fairly as sending 3 on that ball. You can tell they're in a little bit of a panic mode, if you will. That this Silly Billies roster has started to put them on ice.
Approaching final 2 minutes here. We need to see Fairly as get a little more involved. Now's a good time to do it. A minute per goal is pretty reasonable in Rocket League. I think a little less than that, it starts to get a little more stressful. So they're able to pick something up as soon as possible. Obviously, I think anyone can say that. The sooner they score, the better, sure. But for the sake of pressure and the sake of easing the pain that they're going through right now, they want to find something here. They're doing a good job getting it down the field. We've seen so much of this game played right outside the blue box, but that defense from Silly Billies, we saw it start to decrease a little bit, but they've really brought it back here when it matters most. They don't want to concede this series. They want to move on to the grand finals. They're doing a fantastic job holding the line because Fairly as they're piling on the pressure and they're getting nothing to show for it.
They really are getting nothing. They're not necessarily playing bad, but Silly Billies is just playing better. Their touches are smoother, and like I was saying before, those transitions from defense to offense are where their strong point is really at. That in the air. They're not having a whole lot of success on the ground game, but they are having a lot of success in those 50-50s and in the corners. You see that just there, Grell takes it away. Bora's racing back to try and catch this. Fearless gets stuffed by Bora once again, and Swaz already under pressure. He's got full boost. He gets demoed by Darklight, now in a 3v2 situation, but Silly Billies can't quite capitalize.
Silly Billies, they're picking up the pace. Bora goes for a crazy double tap off the ceiling. Doesn't quite get the angle to get it inside the 2 posts, but I don't think that Silly Billies are going to be too mad. They still have a 2-goal lead, final 30 seconds. That one's going to creep down. Would have been a good opportunity for Silly Billies, but they don't want to push anyone up because they don't need to. A 4th goal doesn't do a ton for them right now unless you're just trying to break the spirits of Fairly as. And as this clock dwindles down, the 3-1 scoreline in favor of Silly Billies, and I think this is the 3rd time we've seen it in this series. I think every single game that Silly Billies have won has been a 3-1. And we just see it played out again. So we know if Silly Billies get 3 in the next game and Fearly Az get 1, then call it over. Because that's what it's going to end up as.
It's scripted, is what it is. It's scripted. It's the only excuse that there is to it. You know, someone get Melikim on the line. Things were going too bad. And they were like, you know what? It's going to be scripted from here on out so that no more things can go wrong. We're not going to have any more lobby resets. We're not going to have any more mutator issues. We're not going to have any more DQs or forfeits along the line. We're just going to script this entirely. But Fearly Az, in all reality, they just got shell-shocked that game. They got caught off guard early on, and like you could tell, they were panicking in the back third. They didn't have, you know, the reassurance. We were talking about how their mental was going to hold up that game, and you could just see it crumble as time went on. And how it slowly fell apart. So, at the end of the day, it's really going to be a test of how are they going to handle Game 7. We're Game 7, right? We're on Champions Field. We're Game 7.
This is it. This is it. The final game of the series. We went the distance. We're all the way on 7. It has been a battle to get here. The war almost over at this point, albeit whoever wins has to play a whole nother series, but that's a later problem. That's not what you worry about right now. Right now, you focus on the here and the now. The now is everything's on the line. You just win. That's it. It's simple. You just have to win. Fearly Az, they get good possession off the kickoff, but it is going to be cleared out as Silly Billies taking it down the pitch. Demo pickup for Bora, but not a great passing opportunity for Silly Billies, so not much going to come out of it. Good stop in the midfield from Chili. Race to the boost as Bora does win it, gets possession, goes for the aerial play, flip reset, but doesn't get it, and Fearly Az now playing it out of their side, seeing what they can do here.
Darklight back the other way, chasing into the corner is Bora. Bora looking for that demo. They're wanting to play physical. They know that's a weak point. T-Corell takes it off the backboard, touches it down. He doesn't got any boost. He's going to leave it for his teammate, who gets it over 1, looks to get it over 2. Bora's waiting with bated breath. He wants a pass so bad. You can just tell just by the way he's moving around that ball.
Fearly Az out of their half again, but Silly Billies are trying to keep it as far past that midfield line as possible. They don't want to have to deal with the defense. They just want to play their offense and do their thing. Fearly Az, however, are a team known for that. They only want to play offense. They don't want to play defense. They want to keep the ball as deep in the box as possible. So we kind of have some conflicting interest here. Both teams, they want to win. And unfortunately, only one team's going to be able to do that, as Silly Billies having to play this off of their back while Fearless is up out of nowhere. All the boosts out of the tank on target, saved. Chili, another shot saved as well. Swaz is going to keep this one relevant a little bit over Fearless, and Fearly Az, they are piling on the heat right now.
Fearly Az looking to get a little more creative with their plays, with those challenges up, like you saw there with Fearless off the ceiling. But they just can't quite find it. They're so close. They're teetering right on the precipice of madness to get this first goal netted. But unfortunately, they have no success so far. Oh, a very weak flick out of Chili there. Had no avail to it. Left over, looking for a touch mid. Can't find it. Darklight trying desperately to break the pressure that Fearly Az is putting on. But here they come again. It's free in front of the net. Nobody was there to clean it up, though. And Silly Billies, once again, find themselves on defense without boost in that space, unable to clear it. And that seems to be that crack in the armor that I was talking about that Fearly Az is really focusing on. They're really trying to control the resources in that end to try and stifle these teams.
Silly Billies are very comfortable playing out of their net. We've seen that throughout this entire series. Fearly Az can pile on pressure, but that doesn't mean anything for Silly Billies. It's still so difficult for Fearly Az, regardless of how many shots they put on, to actually convert it to a goal. Fearly Az, they're just going to keep trying and trying. A Swaz 50 with T. Corell doesn't go in. Chili picks up a demo on Bora, but does get bumped off. The ball just floating. T. Corell with those awkward-looking spins again, but makes it work. Swaz out of the Fearly Az corner, going to be shut down by Bora. Silly Billies finally able to pick up some boost, and they're going for their own offensive stand here. Minute 20 left. It's getting a little late in the series. It's getting down to it.
Bora looking for something off the backboard. Chili is there to knock that out away. Fearless chasing it down to the other end. T-Corral's got time, boost, and a touch. Oh, he gets it around Fearless quite easily. Looking to beat 2, but he can't beat Chili. Chili trying to keep pressure on as Fearless once again continues to mount that pressure in the offensive third. Trying to keep it as close to the box as they can, but they can't quite get there. An awkward miss there from Chili. T-Corral loses it there. Bora can't connect on it. Darklight gets it over 1, but nobody has any boost left for the Silly Billies roster. He goes to get it over 2. Fearless is there, and it's just back and forth right on the edge. One of these teams is going to score in the next 30 seconds at the very least. A demo in the backfield is there. T-Corral gets it over 1, and with 33 seconds left on the clock, finally, somebody scores.
What a huge pickup from T-Corral. Fakes the ripper of a shot towards the left half of the net, stays behind it. I don't really know what the lone defender in the net was going to do in either situation, though. That ball had so much pace. T-Corral had so much momentum. That ball is getting rocketed towards the net regardless of if T-Corral wants to put it to the left or the right. It's just going to be that hard to save and almost impossible. We see there. Final 20, though. We have seen plenty. 0-second heroics. Who's to say we can't get one more for old time's sake here in game number 7. Final 10. Purely as they're going to start out of their own side. Fearless tries to pick it up. Not a lot of boost. Not a lot of boost for anyone on Fearly as. It's a bit of a drought for the team. They make the pickups, but it doesn't matter. Silly Billies. They were in a scary situation going into game number 6. They get the 2 consecutive wins that they needed, and they take the series. They move on to the grand finals there. What do you think, Fresh? How did you like that series?
That was so close and so intense there in that last couple minutes. I'm gonna need therapy after this match, honestly. That was heart-wrenching, whatever you want to call it. It was absolutely down to the wire. It was a 1-goal game, and it wasn't scored for 4 minutes and 27 seconds into the regulation time. You can't ask for a better series than that to open this up. You know, you just can't.
I was definitely nice since the last series got cut off early due to a power outage. We got the redemption. We got to see the Rocket League that we really wanted to see, and it was fantastic all the way to game number 7, almost to overtime. That last goal in game 7 coming so late, down to it, like you said. Phenomenal Rocket League there, but the phenomenal Rocket League is not over because that was a semifinals match. We still have the grand finals to play where the Rocket League only gets better from here. So we're going to cut to a short break here, and when we come back, we will see y'all for the grand finals.
We were playing with fire. Everything turned to dust. When we aimed to fly higher, we got lost and dragged each other down. We kept running from the shadows in the night, realizing it was not worth the fight. Moving on alone was what felt right, 'cause we were never meant to be. Dum dum da dum day. Dum dum da dum day. Dum dum da dum day. 'Cause we were never meant to be. It feels good, a new beginning. We are free at last.
Welcome back to the desk, everyone. I am Somber. I'm going to be taking it over from Rhino for the rest of this night's event. We have Fresh, Jay, and Colby here on the desk with me, and we have our grand finalists in No Idea and Silly Billies. Last game that we saw some peak plays, some 0-second goals, a couple overtimes, and a very close game 7 to wrap things up. Literally everything you could have asked for. Now, Fresh, I'm going to ask you, what surprised you during that series, being in the booth, being there, watching it live break down?
It was how the grit that Furias had to keep coming back. It didn't matter how many times they got punched, knocked down, double tapped, just completely knocked out of a play. At the times you felt like they were going to absolutely lose it, they found a way to keep coming back. That speaks volumes to the strength of the mentality that the team had going through that series to keep level heads and calm heads under the pressure that Silly Billies was putting on.
Yeah, 100%. Exactly the way I would have put it as well. Now, Jay, going into grand finals, being in the booth, watching Silly Billies, and having some context to the other teams, who would you say is your player to watch? Who's your difference maker going into grand finals?
After watching Silly Billies play, it's hard to bet against them. We saw Furias bring out a lot of different strategies, and Silly Billies' strategy was to just rip what they're doing and do it a little bit better and score on them. We saw early demo play from Fearliaz, and Silly Billy said, okay, we'll just triple your demo goals in the series. Why not? We saw Fearliaz try to constrict Silly Billies in their own box and just pile on shot after shot. Nothing crazy, but just applying that pressure, trying to crack the defense. Silly Billy said, okay, well, first of all, we're not going to crack. You're going to have to try harder. Second of all, we're going to put you in your box and see how you like it. And they did that. And they made so many opportunities off that. It was so entertaining to watch the sheer adaptability of Silly Billies. And because of that, I cannot bet against them.
All right. And if you had to say one player from that Silly Billy squad, who is going to be that difference maker? Who's going to be the one that is going to put them over the edge to potentially take the grand finals here?
Tikaro was doing some fancy things, and I love to see that. We saw some spins that, you know, typically you can hold air roll. We saw some cartwheels in the air. You doing some crazy things, and the passing opportunities that Tikaro was able to set up, just dancing around one or two defenders, setting up those opportunities was huge for Silly Billies. So if we can see that again out of Tikaro, being that playmaker, making those opportunities, and also getting plenty of goals, that would be huge for Silly Billies, and that would make them almost unstoppable in this bracket.
All right, you heard it here, T. Carell. I don't think that anyone would suspect anyone else but T. Carell to be the guy to watch. And finally, Colby. Last but not least, we head into this last match of the regional, and going into this, you already got top 2 secured. You're getting some of the most points heading into the rest of the split. How are things going to be moving forward for the guys if you take the win here?
It's going to be good. I think they're going to be the top dog every weekend, top 4 at least. I mean, T. Carell, he's setting them up. Like Jay said, he's the player to watch out for when you look at this Silly Billies team, and they're looking good right now. Honestly, Fearlize, they tried their best. They just wanted it more though. Every time he's on the ball, he's dangerous. He tries to get it to Darklight and Bora, and they're looking great. And they're a really, really good team, and they got a bright future in this league. And I can't wait to see what they're going to do tonight.
Awesome. Well, I think the desk has kind of given the consensus that Silly Billies are taking this whole shebang. So now let's throw it over to our guys in the booth for kickoff. This stellar grand finals match up being casted by our guys, Beaver and Mel. Take it away.
It's Championship Sunday, and welcome to the first grand final in the biggest league in North America. The first regional in Season 3 of the Spate Championship Series has been filled with drama, excitement, happiness, and heartbreak. And as teams get promoted and eliminated each match, from the qualifier to the top 4, each team has brought and fought valiantly to get to the place of which they end up landing. The top 2 teams now hold control to their own fate. It's Fearliaz and Silly Billies. Game 7 saw Silly Billies come out on top as the winner, and the desk favorites as well. No Idea as well isolated the pause up in a 6-game series. It is just about time to get that grand final started in the most entertaining series that we just may be granted to. Is it the underdog versus one of the most experienced players in all of North America? It is Championship Sunday, Beaver, and this is going to be your grand finals.
And an absolute grand final it will be. You said Silly Billies had the ice there in Game 7 against Fearliaz. No Idea able to take down Pause Up in that series as well. They showed some fight in that Pirates on a Bot series, so don't count out No Idea, of course, going against Silly Billies again. My pick to go so far, but how about some Rocket League? It is the Spate Championship Series grand final kicking off for you right now. It is going to start with Darklight controlling the kickoff. Curry immediately with the 50 challenge out. Bora over towards Darklight is going to take over the baton. 50 away, bumped out by Not Glowing. T. Carell with a big 50 in the midfield as well. All styled out here the first 20 seconds. Bora puts one into the box. Glowing just able to get that away. Good attack here by Silly Billies to start off, but the No Idea defense held up strong.
No Idea is going to have to come out really strong here if they want to take the series off of Silly Billies, who are by far the huge favorites in what many think is going to be a one-sided grand final. We'll have to see which way the ball drops. Boro over the top takes it against Waves, but it's a great intervention as well. Not going the 50 straight down. Curry into the right box, but Bora next up trying to do what he can with the Dark Light is going to have a field day with this.
Nice infield touch. Bora tried to get a redirect touch to put it in there, but it's going to be T. Carell flying up from the third man position, not able to get a hold of it. Bora with an inverted touch, upside down. Going to put one back towards T. Carell. He's got the net to work with. Just isn't able to get back around it. Opts to let Dark Light take this through. Ball floats into the box. It's Bora with the shot. A double tap. No good.
Try to get that reset double down. You see the pressure that Silly Billies are starting to enforce on the inside the box of No Idea. Dark Light with no boost. All he can do is 50, fakes out, not glowing. But now, not glowing is going to have to shine to get this one into the other half. 50, double commit. Curry calls off Waves into the corner, goes to 50 around the corner. Dark Light gets it out only as far as not glowing, who puts it off the backboard. Is there another person? Is there a follow-up? Curry gets the touch, but it's too far. It's underneath. The 50 comes out. Dark Light to the left side, off the post and out. The follow-up is not going to come, as the prediction for the shot is going to be quite off target. What an opportunity as the pressure continues from Silly Billies.
Pressure continuing to mount. We do know there is a technical difficulty with the game not showing. Trying to give you the radio call for it here as we got 2:40 left to go on the clock here. It is still a 0-0 deadlock between these two tiers. It's Curry who comes out from his own back wall to get the touch. T. Carell off the sidewall. Gonna reverse the pitch here as they're in the No Idea half. Darklight went for a musty, isn't able to get there. T. Carell cross pitch over towards the goal box. Found away here by Curry. Is going to be a double tap over to Bora, not glowing once again there as well. Able to put this down, and T. Carell is going to put this into his own corner. Gets a big 50. T. Carell, flip resets on top of the goal box. Demo by Bora, saved away by not glowing.
Oh, what an opportunity now, not glowing into the other side of the field, trying to keep this one out. It's the pressure coming in from Not Idea, trying to make this one work. Around the corner, Dark Light trying to get it past one. Bora trying to get that 50. He can't do it. T. Carell with the control of a professional, down into the corner again, as Not Glowing is going to have a lot of time with this. Glowing into the middle, an opportunity coming out. It's taken away. Now down the other end on the counter attack. They're trying to get this one down off the backboard. Bora, up early shot, denied.
What a save.
It is Curry with the save of the day.
Huge save by Curry there to keep that one out of the net as we welcome the viewers to the broadcast. A minute 20 to go. You've missed some fast and furious action here between these two squads, and thus far has been a matchup that has been well worthy of the grand finals. It's going to be T. Carell looking to go coast to coast. Flip reset, tries to go under, not glowing. Not glowing, able to push this into the corner. Here is the last 60. Getting ready to roll off the clock here as Bora intercepts along the sidewall, bumps through everybody, and T. Carell loses life in the process. It's an open net if they could get there. Waves, shot on, it's over the bar.
What an opportunity to counterattack. They're working fluently, but now Silly Billies have another life in the air again. Not Glowing has to keep this one close. He can't lose control. Curry bumped out the way. Not Glowing thinks it's fine. 1v1 denied by T. Carell. The demo coming out in the third man, so if a counterattack does come out from Silly Billies, they will have one free way to the goal. Another pass infield from T. Carell to Darklight, it's denied. Bora going high, control off the ceiling. Again, the control trying to go the entire way by himself, can't do it. Darklight trying to go from one end to another, has the reset, the pass to the left side. Bora denied by Not Glowing as they continue this attack. Oh, again, the transition play may just work. Waves into the middle of the field. T. Carell able to take it away. Again, they just continue to keep this close. Another opportunity falls in the favor of Silly Bills. Overtime in the first regional, the first grand final, and the first game.
Bonus Rocket League coming at you on this one. It was a deadlock at 0. A defensive battle there. It was Silly Billies came through with a big 7 shots. Nobody home there after the demo on Waves for T. Carell. This one popped back down the pitch. Good 50 as well. A back and forth. This defensive battle still continues as T-Corral takes control in the midfield.
T-Corral a corner. Darklight trying to get the shot on target, trying to get the pre-jump. It didn't work in his favor. Curry has waves to the left side. Darklight does get a good touch. T-Corral's next up. Bora on the back line. Waves getting a good touch. Just trying to make himself relevant in the play. Darklight has T-Corral, who can't make contact with the ball. Ran into boost midair. As well, they continue this attack, and Waves awkward. Great touch by Bora to keep the possession in Silly Bill's favor.
Darklight shot opportunity taken away by Curry. He was looking for the bottom left post there. Darklight just floats that ball up into midfield. Got Waves on the challenge. Curry almost slotted that one through. Bora comes from the heavens. A demo by not glowing on Boros. Darklight just looks for his teammate to get back on the pitch. Flips it back down to T-Corral. T-Corral, flip reset to work with. Darklight went with him as well.
Oh, wait.
It's Bora who saves the day. Ball floating dangerously in the box. Curry just doing anything to get that out of the pitch. Waves, flip reset down, taken away by T-Corral. High off the ceiling, gets a second touch, looks for the double for the win and in! T-Corral with the double coast to coast. Gives Silly Billy's game one.
T-Corral strikes like lightning. Give him space and you will pay. 1-2. T-Corral is back in form here in the Spate Championship Series.
A long time without a goal there, and it was finally that dam that broke for Silly Billy's. 9 shots on target versus just 3 on the other side. The defense held up as long as it could for no idea, but finally that deadlock was broken here in overtime. Silly Billy's in control of the series now, 1-0.
Yeah, and the better teams just find a way to win, as they usually say. But that was much closer than it looked to be. Only 3 shots on the side of No Idea, but they had quite the idea of what they were doing on the defensive line. But only 3 saves to their name. A lot of shots going off the post. But what No Idea were able to do is really just isolate this roster with T-Corral, Darklight, and Bora away from continuing and giving the pressure as we go here on to wow, a second game that I think is going to be a whole lot closer than what the desk was predicting. And Beaver, we may just have a series on our hands.
Yeah, I don't think it was quite the blowout that people were maybe expecting to be in this one. It was a tightly contested game, of course, here in game 1. Excited to see what game 2 will have in store for us, but I do gotta say, if you're No Idea, you gotta be able to throw more shots on net. Just 3 shots for the entire game. They got tripled up in terms of that, 9 shots to 3. You gotta do a little bit better on the offensive half to score here. They're gonna try to start with a double. It's gonna float all the way out to Bora. Able to get the touch there. Darklight flies over the ball there. It's T-Corral just looking to get this out of the half. It was a nice effort to start out by No Idea, but not another shot put on target.
His Waves in the air. Maybe a reset. Needs Curry in assistance. Glowing trying to beat out T-Corral, but he can't. Now Bora off the sidewall, trying to get the sidewall. Double off the backboard. The pass. T-Corral shot. Bang! T-Corral 1-0.
It's pixel perfect from T-Corral right there in the top right corner, and it's a wonderful assist by Bora to get that corner double towards the goal box. Let T-Corral finish. 4:23. Wasn't quite the 6.5 minutes that we took to get the first one on the board. T-Corral says, hey, I want to score a little bit faster.
Yeah, and again, here he goes again. Darklight finishes it off. It is a slaughter by Silly Billy's.
T-Corral is having a series already, able to get that big-bodied through 2, and then Darklight finishes up the play there, able to take a commanding 2-0 lead here. 45 seconds is played so far. This third kickoff, it's stalled out. And something you have to notice about this Silly Billy squad is they were exceptional on the kickoff in the last 2 series. So even when they score, they're always a threat to put up the next one as well. Darklight trying to get the third. There's Curry, will deny. T-Corral, the man of the hour. High pop on that one. Gets another touch. Ceiling reset. It's not glowing. Denies the clip from T-Corral.
And they continue as well, as this sequence is not over. But Bora into the corner, trying to make something happen. Curry looking for a demo on T-Karel, who flies out the goal to get a save. Not glowing. Again, with a big demo on Darklight as T-Karel drops this one down onto Bora's car. Curry on the back line has to deal with the 1v3. T-Karel shot in! 3-0 as Silly Billies find their way, find their offense, and find their goals.
That's like once they got that first one, they really just started to avalanche down. And an onslaught of goals here as there is now 3 on the board here for Silly Billies. Fourth kickoff once again stalled out, and now it is an opportunity for No Idea. Not glowing, tries to throw one towards net. But again, we were talking about the shots for No Idea already badly being outshot again. Just 1 shot in the first 2 minutes versus 5 for this Silly Billies squad. It is really off her defense by assault for Silly Billies right now.
Oh yeah, it is, and Darklight is continuing! Darklight all by himself will make this a 4-0 game, as this is getting to an absolute robbery!
I mean, that ball was just absolutely glued on a Darklight's hood, had a full tank and needed every ounce of it to score that goal here, a 4th, now in favor of Silly Billies. Darklight off the kickoff, 50s this back on the opposite side as Bora look to get the 5th one on the board. Nobody home. It's not glowing now. Trying to get something, anything started for this No Idea squad. At least a shot towards the net. Make them save it. Get something on the board. But it is Silly Billies. Got a pre-jumping T-Karel on the side of him. Got 50'd out in midair. Darklight with a big challenge. Not a lot of boost here for Silly Billies. It could be the opportunity that No Idea is looking for. But T-Karel, the ever-present along the back wall there. No boost, no problem. Smokes that down. Darklight. Inverted touch. It is going to be waves, but no boost to make an attack.
And now Bora has a lot of space, and that just may be the problem as well with this series for No Idea. Respecting Silly Billies too much for pre-jumping T-Karel is going to help that one connect, but a great save on board from Bora on the other end, or Darklight rather on the other end. Something working. Own goal almost. And the follow-up's good. That is a disaster class from the defense of No Idea.
That is a completely different series than we saw in game 1. And you think maybe did No Idea spend their whole tank out in game 1? Not quite sure, but they have to do something again to stop the bleeding. I mentioned it was 5-1 in favor of shots for Silly Billies. That number has increased to 10-1 now. Another 5 unanswered by this Silly Billies squad. Curry, there's a shot that goes towards net. It is saved away by Bora, but at least a sign of life from No Idea finally as they get at least 1. Bora is just floating down from the heavens to get a touch on that one. T-Karel in the midfield, intercepted by waves. It's Curry. Here's an odd man rush on the other side, but again, nothing of note. No attack, no good threat, nothing going on for No Idea. Silly Billies take control again.
Yeah, No Idea. We're just continuing to have No Idea, I guess I will. I mean, ironic name. Because what do you do against this? Well, what's happening? What on earth are you supposed to do against this attack? I did a good job of suppressing them in game 1, but I guess once Silly Billies were able to come away with that pretty decently sized overtime win, they were able to find a way to break past this team as well. I think the mental as well for No Idea just kind of broke apart. A big demo. As we continue to pressure, the sequences are just being started from literally plays of nothing from Silly Billies. As we just continue to force this ball down the other end, look at T-Karel's control. He has been the person to absolutely put his team on the back in the last game and in this game. Last game, it was a game 6 victory for No Idea. Slayer's team fell out as well. But once again, this game 2 is just not it. They can't connect on any passes, right? I mean, they're just nothing is happening. There's no chemistry.
Was a back pass to nobody. He just threw it into some empty space behind him. You know, obviously 10 seconds left coming up on that game, but at no point in any sort of time in this game, besides maybe this one, finally we get one on the board. Unfortunately, I don't think we're playing last goal wins. We can ask if they want to maybe go that route, but I doubt it. But at least you get something on the board here, Mel, that's like we can compete a little bit.
I mean, even if they are on the last goal, the golden goal wins territory type thing, the way that TKRL's team is playing right now in Silly Billies, they're not acting silly, they're acting serious, they're here to play today. They are just... Who would have said that Silly Billies would be the favorites to win the entire tournament? I mean, I don't think many people were having the conversation. I mean, we were talking about Furliaz. I mean, before the season began, we were talking about before the top 16, before like everyone got qualified. We were talking about like Scythe, Dizzy, and forgot what the third was there. I mean, we were talking about Fast, Resinal, Pigeon. We are talking about Knight, Woozy, and Lev. Even in Furliaz's roster. Why has everybody forgotten about Silly Billies and what this roster can do, what this roster can bring to a table? Because Jesus, this roster's here to play.
They're all just playing their roles extremely well. As we pop into game 3 here, there isn't a weak spot on the roster. Everyone feeling rotating quickly, fast. TKRL is playing like a madman out on the pitch there. Darklight, you know he can make the plays, and Bora just filling in perfectly on that front as well as he looks to start up this play.
Goodness.
Bora has been the master of the assist, a true playmaker, and he's doing it in flashy ways. It's not just a simple infield pass from Bora. He's generally going coast to coast and then making a corner double or doing something crazy to get a nice feed over towards the players. And when you have shooters like TKRL and Darklight who can put the ball anywhere on the pitch, as he's got the ceiling reset, a double flip reset, couldn't find it in. I mean, players who can snipe like that and you just get dime passes from your teammates, it's always a recipe for success.
Like, why is this roster so clinical? Silly Billies, what's so undervalued is the ability to transfer from defense onto offense, in this case from midfield onto offense, and they're just making it work. A shot from anywhere, forcing the defense, asking questions of if the defense is going to be able to get back in time. Each and every sequence right now, it is a masterclass. And you see, I mean, right there, that's great control, being able to flip it back into the midfield. But right now, it is just unbelievable from one end to another. But I think this could be an opportunity. This could be the sequence for No Idea where they can start putting pressure on.
You're getting control, but control for what? But you're playing around in it with your own half. We're not doing anything threatening here. Like again in last game, there was nothing besides that last goal that said, hey, they're going to score a goal. I think they have a good opportunity here. That didn't happen until literally
they were down
1 second left.
when they scored.
There was 1 second left on the clock where it was like, okay, they can probably score here. They got to get something going in a hurry, and I think it has to be off of the first goal. They have to get a lead.
Like, the way that Silly Billies has been able to isolate this roster in their own half, the entire series has been so good. Not only game 1, not only game 2, it was also game 1. Here's an opportunity. This is what happens when you absolutely break down the team. It is clinical transition from one end to another. In the midfield, it is an isolation takedown from Silly Billies. TKRL off the back wall pass from Bora is able to put this roster up 1-0 with a sizable amount of time left in the game.
And it was exactly what I was talking about earlier. It's Bora who's making a clinical pass, doing it with flash, able to win the 50, get it over towards TKRL, who was just sniping corners at this point. A pre-jump there as Bora tried to find TKRL. But TKRL is putting nothing in the middle of the net. Every single shot that he is taking is towards a post, is towards a corner, making it impossible for No Idea to get these saves. If it's towards the middle of the net, sure, these players are good enough to make a touch, but he is shooting with accuracy and with pace when it's so difficult to defend that.
And it is, and now you see this team trying to pre-jump everything that is being thrown at them from Silly Billies right now. They have to be in the air. They realize they see the urgency to be able to defend everything, because Silly Billies just take everything high. They're so clinical, and they just follow everything up. They always have a second man so close to the ball. They can read the play before it's going to happen. And now, No Idea, they have to be so good with everything. Bora double saved. Waves keeping his team in it with 1:30 remaining.
has an opportunity here, is not glowing, but Darklight just stays firm on the defensive half there. Bora just gets over Curry. Curry was looking for the demo. It's Bora. He's looking for T. Corral. That hasn't been a duo that has been working. Is get 50'd away, but as much as we've talked about Silly Billies in this game so far, it still is only after that one hits the crossbar. It is a 1-goal game till they can still do something to force overtime if they find one on the board. That's an opportunity saved away by T. Corral.
You can't be serious. You can't give away that opportunity. It was an open net. Put some power behind it, I beg. Because that was your opportunity. That was the time to break through. It's grand finals on the line. $100 on the line. You need to be clinical. And they're getting dunked. It is a Bora show. Silly Billies has established control.
It's Bora coming through, calling his own number. That time, been the assist man the whole time. This time says, I could do it on offense too. It is a huge dunk above the rim on your head.
You can't be serious. It is amazing. Not glowing has to go the entire way by himself. Waves denied again by T. Corral.
Where did he come from?
Needs to, I don't know. He needs to do something with this. There's no help. T. Corral pre-jumped it. He's trying to shoot it. He's been doing this the entire time. Curry needs to go from one end to another. Has not glowing in support. He can't go. T. Corral has a pre-jumping Darklight for the net. Bang! That's the end. Silly Billies. They've established control. It's all theirs. The grand final has been in their favor.
Stop it. They're already dead. Just continuing to nail that coffin down and just burying them alive. And it has come again by offense, by force. Another double-digit shot game by Silly Billies. They put up another 11 spot on this one, and it moves them to championship point here as we move on to game 4. Well, do you think there is any shot we see a game 5, or is this one done?
I'm not gonna lie. As much as I want to be the generic caster, I have to be very blunt. I do think that this is going to end on Utopia Coliseum. Utopia Coliseum and RLCSX used to be the map where T. Corral used to shine and whatnot. I'm a fanboy of T. Corral. For 2 years straight, he was my second favorite RLCS player. I hate being a caster because you cannot be favorite. You can't be a favoritist. Oh my goodness. But then again, it has been so good as well. You can't deny what this roster in Silly Billies has got to offer. Off the kickoff.
I mean,
it is breakdown. What's happening?
Do you expect anything else at this point? I mean, T. Corral in the back of the net. It's a tale as old as time at this point. T. Corral hits the ball. He puts it in the net. Series over.
Simple.
I mean,
simple.
If only if they were that easy in regular Rocket League, right? In my ranked games, it ain't that simple. T. Corral makes this game just looks easy.
He does.
But where? You have the opportunity to get something going there, and you put your pass 2 car lengths behind your teammate. There's one there too. That at least was a good opportunity. T. Corral had to make a good save off the one-timer. 2 good opportunities there. I just want to see
better shot placement though. It is something. They are getting the opportunity, but that's been the entire thing. They have been able to get an opportunity once in a while, but they're just not clinical enough with the opportunity when it comes. They're not urgent enough. They don't see the urgency as well. I mean, they do see the urgency, but then again, they're just nervous at times. Oh man, this could be another opportunity, but once again, they just don't have a person in place. Waves into the corner, has not glowing in support on the wing. Darklight, bad touch.
There you go.
They're not clinical enough. It's gone. No idea. Strike.
Finally getting one on the board. We have a tie game here in game 4. Darklight, that's just a missed touch and not glowing. You have to have that aggression, right? You're in a series where you're getting beat badly. At some point, you just got to say, just toss something towards the net. Get shots on the way. If we're making a bad challenge, we're going down swinging at the very least, and had very little boost to challenge that. And Darklight made a mistake.
Challenge. Oh my
Here
goodness.
Here goes, ceiling reset. Curry, something on the board, not able to get it through.
Goodness.
Waves puts it through, and no idea with their first lead of the series.
Oh, that's unbelievable. What a pre-jump from Curry. Then getting their ceiling reset to put it off the backboard. Waves having the recognition to put himself in a good spot to get the goal. Unbelievable. That is what we've needed to see from No Idea, because they know what Silly Billis is going to do. They just can't counter it. They know T-Curl's going to go high. They know that they're going to try to counter. Waves reset underneath. And off the kickoff, they are starting with pressure. T-Curl minimal boost. Has Darklight in the middle, pre-jumping. Darklight shooting. Darklight denied by not going on the goal line.
I'm liking what I'm seeing out of No Idea, though. These last couple of minutes, excuse me, they're just playing aggressive now. We saw even then a demo that came in, which didn't really affect the goal, but at least they are just throwing people forward to try to get something in the back of the net. You have to play aggressive. I mean, it's game 4 here. You're facing a sweep. Go down fighting. I'm liking the fight that I'm seeing these first 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what they've been able to put together has been all-star, all-class, but the defense is still a little bit worrying as well. I'm not going to lie. Silly Billies, if they're able to put one good counter-attack together, it could be a goal down the other end. T-Curl with no boost, trying to do it all by himself, not glowing. Another touch over the head of Darklight. Open net if you can get the hook, but he gets demoed out the way. This could still be a good sequence as the ball is kept into the corner, but never mind. T-Curl with boost. The reset uses it late. Has Bora. One touch. Goes low. The reset underneath one. Past the second. Darklight. No demo. T-Curl. High. Shooting. Wanted to go straight off. Couldn't get the goal. It could be another opportunity for a counterattack. The third man so far up from not... So No Idea, but they just couldn't put it together. T-Curl by himself trying to pancake it in, but it's going to be denied. The sequence on the other end, Beaver.
It's 2 minutes left here. The aggressive play on both sides now starting to pick it up. If you're Silly Billies, you don't want No Idea to have any sort of momentum and go into a game 5. You'd love to end this now. He had T-Curl in the middle, did Bora. Bora just couldn't get enough sauce on that one to put it on through. Bora now with a big 50, looking to start the attack himself. Tries the 50 again on Waves. Waves gonna throw this down the pitch, and it is T-Curl. Looks to get a flip reset. Tries to get past Glowing. Nobody home. Bora doesn't have a lot of boost. Neither is T-Curl, so they're off just to relay themselves back to the goal line. Now there's a mid player with boost, but nobody home as Curry just bangs this out. Minute 20 to go here.
I feel like I'm watching European gameplay.
It's chaotic. There's a lot going on the field here.
Look at the third man. The third man just banging it downfield. It feels like I'm watching Lunagalti.
Oh no!
Oh, it's a miscue. The shot denied. Darklight has made a disaster out of that. Oh my goodness! And then it's a miss jump as well. How has that happened? It is a disaster from No Idea. From Silly Billies. No Idea just doing what they can, but they're not chilling, they're scrambling. It's a coordinated attack down the other end for No Idea, but look at this. Minimal boost, T-Curl, no boost off the backboard. Great defense.
That's one pinch towards the net. Can T-Curl catch up to it? No, as Bora's 50 went towards the net. It is Bora now once again intercepting, but it's a great play by Not Glowing. Talking about the huge missed opportunity there from Darklight. I don't think Not Glowing was touching that ball. This one back through. Darklight trying to make up for it. Saved away by Waves. Bora, second shot opportunity denied by Not Glowing. Everybody forward by Silly Billies, and the counter is in. It's No Idea pushing it to game 5.
Oh, the defense that was needed to keep this team at bay the entire game. What a counterattack, opening it up. Silly Billies needed to commit with minimal time on the clock, needing to tie this up if they wanted to get the grand final sweep. It's not going to happen. Yeah, okay, it's not going to happen.
It could have been 2 quick kickoff goals. I get the pause there, right?
Yeah, I'm like, no one went for kickoff. They went for the fake kickoff, I guess. No Idea. Do extend it to Aquadome. So finally we do have a close grand final series, despite what the desk were thinking. Oh wow. Beaver, oh wow.
I mean, they have to keep that up though. They need to keep that pace. They still were outshot by a ton. Again, 11-6.
Oh, yeah.
But you just saw a little bit quicker play, a little bit more aggressive play between them that series. And it's about how you respond after getting punched in the mouth. they're getting beat up. Those first 3 games, they were just taking haymakers left and right, and they finally came through with an answer and started to punch back on their own. I think that's what we saw here in game 4. So they need to keep that mantra going into game 5 that, hey, anybody's got a puncher's chance here. It's reverse sweep or bust for them, but they are on the board. The sweep has been denied. Now they're going to start the sweep of their own.
But listen, very mysterious things happen in the ocean, in the sea. Aquadome is the place for disaster, for excitement, for drama, and for failure. It is game 5 or bust for No Idea, as you just mentioned. And finally, well, someone asked in the chat, wait, someone asked someone explain what's happening right now. Okay, I'll explain for you. This is the grand finals, and it's been the T Carell show right now and right here on the stream. No Idea trying to get the reverse sweep. We will see if they can, and we'll see if this series gets made a little bit more interesting in the final game, potentially.
Absolutely. This is the Spate Championship Series, the first regional qualifier for that. Still time to get in if you check us out, spadeesports.org, to get your shot in this 5.4K prize pool. Take on us. We have weeklies every single week, followed up by these majors at the end of these 3 weeklies. If you got a squad, head on in, spadeesports.org, get yourself signed up, and you could be on this mainstream as well, just like these ones. It is Silly Billy's versus No Idea, and it is Bora taking the feed from Darklight.
Oh, what a play by T-Crow to keep the sequence and play Darklight Division to give the pass to Bora, who got it off the backboard. New Waves was awkward. No one was in a position to get the regular save, and the squishy save not in. It wasn't in effect. The game
not in the cards
5.
for him there.
Yeah, I mean, the first goal going over to No Idea. What a pre-jump by T-Carell. Curry had to readjust his cart at the very least because he got the he misread the bounce. This off the backboard, open for T-Carell, who's hit it off the post. Not Glowing kicks it away, who's got Curry on the other side, who got the pass delivered to him by Waves. The misread by Darklight. Not Glowing keeping the play in the blue half as Darklight plays this one over to T-Carell. Waves has to go up. The first touch, not in his favor. The reset pass down to the ghost of Casper. Now it's Not Glowing trying to make something happen. Pass back to Darklight with T-Carell heavily involved in the play. A big 50 coming out. Is there anyone up? Waves off the backboard, forcing T-Carell to go. At the very least, asking questions of the defense here early on in game 5.
It was really missed opportunities on both sides. It was the first time we really see T-Carell take a shot and miss. T-Carell was defending on the back line there. Waves had the opportunity. As long as he put that anywhere low, he kept it high. T-Carell makes a save, but there's Waves again. Stuffed by Darklight on the back line as T-Carell takes the touch. Looks to get the inverted as well. Corner double. Tries to pass this towards the mid. Waves will clear that out to Not Glowing. He takes a great touch in the midfield. Ball glued to the car. Forced through. Waves high. Over the bar. Second shot denied by Darklight.
Oh, you can't miss those 2 shots. You need to be more clinical than that. You need to be more urgent than that. You can't miss that. The counter for T-Carell is going to be off target either way. Glowing missed the boost. Oh, Glowing's going to have it on target. T-Carell gets back in time. The grand finals is epic. But you have to be more clinical with your opportunities if you want to give yourself give yourself a chance to keep this one in. Oh, Waves, good recovery, has Curry.
3
Curry
on
has
1.
Glowing on the wing. It's an own goal!
Oh, rip, dude.
Unbelievable! The nerves has got to Silly Billy's!
They were way out of rotation there. A 3-on-1, and T-Carell, he tried to come from behind the play to put it away, puts it into his own net. He's been a scoring machine. This time, that's the wrong goal, buddy, and it couldn't be any more costly. Is this game now tied up with $1:40 to go here? Darklight try to get it back immediately. A bit touched by Waves over towards Darklight. It's got to be T-Carell flying up for the 3rd position. Instead, it's Bora with the boost steal. Here comes T-Carell. Ceiling resets on. Waves calmly puts that away, but Bora turns around, cuts on the play here, and it's Curry. Loading up the Not Glowing. Flip reset touch on as Darklight tries to calm the play down. Waves says no. The aggressive keeps going. Not Glowing pushes this in. T. Corral once again 50'd out by Curry. They are trying to lock this half down. They do not want to leave without a goal, but it looks like the offensive opportunity has elapsed here for No Idea. Silly Billy's trying to go for T. Corral, not there. 1 minute remaining.
Pass downfield to no one. They just try to bang it down. T. Corral is going to be there. Control from T. Corral. All-star control, but two demos
double
in from
kill.
Waves is going to give him a lot of time on the ball. From Waves to offense.
Triple kill.
But again, another demo from Waves. He's eliminated all three. It doesn't matter because there goes T. Corral. An opportunity for the counterattack. Waves on target denied by Darklight, who's going to try to go from end to end. Pass downfield. T. Corral off the backboard. T. Corral denied by not glowing as Bora continues the attack.
24 to go here. That was a burner of a shot by T. Corral on the redirect. Now he's trying to do it again. Flip resets on. Denied by not glowing. Look out for the ball. Oh, Bora just rolled up a little too close on it. Not able to put that one through. 10 to go here, but the job not done yet. It is Bora. He's going to be looking for somebody in the midfield. It's Darklight for the win. Not able to put it through. It's Bora with the backflip to put it home.
Bora! The Silly Billies have taken the lead! In dramatic fashion! 3 seconds on the clock! You couldn't write a better script! Game 5! We said mysterious things happen in Aquadome! And it falls to the ground! Silly Billies are your Spate Esports Regional 1 champions!
Well deserved there, and it was a backflip for the benefit this time as Bora just stayed up on that play. Darklight put it back right into the midfield, and then a wonderful backflip to get that going. A gentleman sweep nonetheless, but it was a dynamite series there. Again, I loved the fight that you saw, but it was just a little too late by No Idea. But the benefit is we got Regional 2 and 3 still to go here before Major 1, so expect them to come back strong, but they will take, of course, a second place. They're going to take 12 Spate Championship Series points and a consolation prize of 30 for the second place here. It was a wonderful game, and we have some wonderful hosts, so we're going to kick it back to them to wrap up what we saw here in Regional 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a series to cap off the night. This is going to be our final desk wrapping things up for the first regional. We got Mel, we got Beaver, we got Colby here after that absolute masterclass put on by Silly Billies. Shout out to all the teams that made the Swiss. Shout out to all the teams that participated. We appreciate every single one of you coming in, whatever run you had. Shouts out to you for making it. And an extra special congratulations to Silly Billies with T. Corral, Darklight, and Bora coming in as our 10th seed and walking away with a first place finish. And now I'm going to throw this over to Beaver first, because last night, Beaver, you picked this team to take it all the way and take the whole thing. Obviously, that
is right. I did say that. Beaver never wrong.
Yeah. But obviously, this team met your expectations by winning the whole thing. But did you think that they would do it in this kind of a fashion?
You know, it was a very balanced performance between all three players for sure. But the man that we kept calling out was the one who I said would be the star, and it was T. Corral all over the pitch, whether it was scoring goals, whether it was making a huge save on defense. There was a couple times where he was able to come back on a play, and I was like, where did he come from? He had no boost. How is he able to come back and make the play? He did have one blemish. He did have that own goal there in game 5 where it was like, okay, hopefully this isn't going to be signs of things to come. But when you have a roster that's this talented, I mean, again, everyone playing their jobs, where you kind of have those two men up top with T. Corral and Darklight, who was just pounding the net with shots, and Bora was just absolutely diming out passes there. It was an all-around team win.
100%. Clearly a great series played by the guys. Especially want to see them run it back now, because they have this momentum built behind them. They put such a great show in grand finals, and I think that 10th seed was a little bit of a misstep for them, and they're going to come back much hotter. And we're going to now throw it over to Colby. Colby, throughout the tournament, we had some great teams, but now looking back on it and looking ahead to next week, what team did you think kind of faltered out that you want to see try and make a run going into the next one?
I want to say no idea again. They really weren't talked about. They really weren't. Honestly, I didn't really talk about them that much. I didn't really focus. And Fear Loss though, that team is great over there. And hopefully we see Night again. They had some miscues. They had some difficulties with Wuzzy, and that was it sucks. But yeah, we'll definitely see T. Corell. Paul's up back in there. But I would say no idea. I would like to see no idea come back and be more prepared and be ready.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely a great team to want to look after. And just to kind of wrap things up on our post-game analysis, Mel, how are we feeling about the playoffs in general? What did you love seeing? What did you want to see more of? What do you want to see more heading into next regional?
I can't help thinking. I can't help but think, Lord have mercy, what this would have been with Pigeon, Resinal, and Tide if they didn't lose a whole match and they made it in. Me and Colby had a conversation about it a little while ago. What a different story this would have been. Or if Pirates on a bot could have made it through. But that last year, I mean, the way Silly Billies were playing, Fearly as could have took it as well.
Yeah.
We had some entertaining match. I want to give some props to myself, okay? Some props to myself because I'm so I picked the stream matches, okay? All the stream matches for yesterday that I picked, the ones that I picked, all went to game 5, okay? So props to myself. I am like the predicting god over here on the desk. Y'all should have me more. I should be doing the predictions over here. I'm not gonna get nothing wrong. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put a bet down that I'm not gonna get no predictions on next regional. We're gonna put a bet
I'll
down,
bet.
all right?
We'll bet $10 next week. Me and you.
No money.
Okay.
It's
All right
5
then.
points only.
All right then. All right then. All right then. All right then.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a ton of what ifs after this week, but luckily for all those what if situations, we have 8 more of these things to go through before we get to the championship, before we get to that final stage in the competition. But for tonight, for this grand finals, we do have the absolute pleasure of presenting an MVP award here, giving MVP honors to someone coming out tonight. And I'm going to start off with Colby. Colby, who do you have and why for MVP here for playoffs?
I mean, T. Corell. He's probably my number one go-to. I mean, he made plays happen. He scored the goal when it needed to be scored. He gave the ball up. He got the assist, got saves, everything. He was everywhere for that team. And I'm going to give it to him, and that's the reason why.
All right. Mel, who you got?
Underrated pick, but I'm going to take Fearless. That man,
Ooh.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
he could... that guy is something special on and off the field. Lord have mercy. What he does when he's on the ball. He is the most clinical player on the field when he is on the ball. When he's off the ball, he's getting demos, waiting downfield, taking the opponent's boost, trying to wreak havoc on the defensive line, waiting downfield for demos, trying to get a redirect, trying to make a play on the ball to give himself and his teammates some time and space on the ball. Lord, he is something special, and that's why he's my MVP.
Fearless, definitely a great player, man. All right, Beaver. Last but not least, I think we might have a little bit of a hint into who, but who and why, man?
I mean, you got to. I mean, the horse I rode in on is the one that took us through the grand finals. It was T. Corell, just all over the pitch. Again, not to be outdone by the rest of his team. It was an all-around team effort for sure. But the man whose name we were calling the most is, of course, the most deserving of the MVP. It has got to be T. Corell. He was sniping post. Everything was in a top corner against the bar. Anything. Shot accuracy was insane, especially for how many shots he was taking. Bor was feeding him some really tasty dishes to get there for sure, but it's about the execution of that shot. When you talk about execution, you talk about speed, and you talk about just being there for the team and the most valuable player, it is nobody else besides T. Corell for regional.
Yeah.
Somber, who you got?
Well, I got to go with Colby and Beaver, man. But besides that one blemish of besides that one blemish of the own goal, I think that T. Corell just had a pretty flawless run throughout the playoffs. Like, dude was doing it all. And I think that's it. That's it, folks. The desk has decided by 3/4 vote. We have your SCS regional #1 MVP in T. Corral. Congrats to T. Corral. Won the grand finals, took home the greater part of the prize pool, and got the most points for their team. They're going to look to defend their title next week as that #1 top dog with MVP T. Corral. And Desk, any final thoughts that anyone wants to get out there before we wrap things up here?
I do like your pick, though, Mel. I do like your MVP pick, because last night that man had me sweating. I mean, when me and Beaver were casting, I was speechless the whole time, and he was doing amazing things. So I like it, though. I like that pick.
I'm
T-Carl's been
for
my
next week.
second favorite. Oh yeah, I mean T-Carl's been my second favorite player since RLCSX behind Gary G. Since from RLCSX to the end of 21-22, T-Carl's been my second favorite player. He's been the person I always watch. I'm always talking about T-Carl. I was just fanboy over that guy. Oh my goodness gracious. That man is something special. I just love the way that Fearless played, and of course, if I didn't say Fearless, I think Trials would be mad at me. So, I do. So, but yeah, great. Me personally, I would like to give a big shout out to the entire staff, for making everything work, from the tournament organizers, Envy, Parkour, JJ, Gad, the owner, Spacebar and Plaque, Ralph, being for also helping out, being an in-game admin today as well. Mirage and Range Rook on the production, and as well I was helping out with the tournament organizing as well. So, and all the casters that came in. So big thank you from me from the entire production to everyone and all the people watching. So that's from it. That's it for me.
We love you, Mel.
We love you, Mel.
Thank you.
Indeed. But yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you to all the production staff, front end, back end, everyone in between. Thank you to our amazing admins, tournament organizers. Shout out to everyone that has had a hand in making this thing possible. And a special shout out to our sponsors, Sword Dog Apparel, Raven GG, and Your Custom Lab. But unfortunately for this weekend, that's going to be it. But we will be back same time, same spiel next weekend for regional #2. For the guys on the desk, I have been Somber. Our casters have been absolutely fantastic. Again, big thank you to everyone that was here and made this thing possible. But we will go ahead and see it on the next one. And thanks to all the fans out there, especially coming out and supporting their teams. But that will be it for this weekend, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Raise the fuck up. Faster, baby, there's no after coming. How do you move? How do you so?